Hello. Gonna be a simple night tonight. Very minimal cautions. One caution flag on lap 15, but besides that, you're gonna be watching the equivalent of some Carb Cup action. Did you have me muted? Oh, that's funny.
All right, guys. Yeah, so now we've got audio. Hi, AJ. Let's do that intro again, since you guys couldn't hear me the first time. Welcome to the Last Chance VRS Triplet 60s, powered by 900 horsepower. Gonna have a great night of racing. You heard Josh in the in race control. We've got me up in the booth. We've got Corey Carpenter, who might pop in from time to time with a couple of answers to our questions. Yeah, we're going out for qualifying right now. We can ride on board with somebody. Let's see if we can find Jared Ikes leads practice, so we'll go ahead and go live on board with him. And I'll pull up the ticker when we get some laps on the board. So everybody's requalifying tonight. There's no backup car rule. Jared Ikes leads practice. We're on board with him. And like we've seen, this place is still hard to drive. The front stretch being one of the most tricky places of the entire track. You see Jared with a little correction in a turn 1 there. He gets down to the bottom of the track, has to let it float out to the wall, really close to the wall out of 2 here. The backstretch can be a little bit unstable, but pretty solid. Down into 3, misses the bottom just a little bit, but I think he'll click off a pretty good lap here, guys. Yep, that's a 71. That's going to put him in the middle of the road here for right now.
Salick with a really solid lap.
Yeah, 6.24 for Salick. I mean, that's quicker than the pole time on that we have currently. Now, why would that be? Is this a
Yeah, so we've got race weather, which is 10 degrees cooler, so that certainly can, you know, we'll speed these cars up, and they're going to see some laps faster than the overall pole. Josh Parker looks like he clicked off in second.
Christopher currently doing trickery. See how fast that makes him go.
Anthony Alfredo is currently in 6th with a 687.
There, he shuts it down. Okay. Yeah, Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Smithley's about to finish his first lap. Gets a 714, which is going to be good for P9.
Now everybody's on the track at the same time, but they just can't see each other, so looks like Garrett might be taking it out for lap 2, getting a little sideways there.
He's gonna call it a day right there. Controller King AJ has a 737, and Landon Huffman beat him by 1/1000th of a second with a 736. Oh wow! Osen Walsh just went P1 with a 554.
Yeah, really great lap, and Garrett Lowe just also went faster.
I have a feeling Garrett might have spent some time trying to figure out how to play with the scrutiny and all of that to get away with some stuff there, and
certainly did. And I was outlined in the rules that we can't do anything about tire dragging, and that's exactly why we didn't have tire dragging in the official qualifying sessions. But yeah, it's a fast lap. How many people we got in here now? Gosh, we've got a lot of guys in the server. And for all you AJ Henderson fans, I'm going to use my telestrator here. Try not to make fun of me. But AJ is this guy right here. See AJ. We have him in the server as Controller King AJ. So for all you AJ Henderson fans out there, there's a couple of them, I do believe.
Sorry if my microphone picks up loud noises. We got a lightning storm going on over here, so.
Yeah, we got our race control in the middle of the jungle right now. Oh, man. I think that might be everybody. So Garrett Lowe gonna start where everybody wants to start on the pole.
I've invited myself. I hope that's okay.
Yes, Chris, I was just gonna request that we might have some people come into the booth because it's just Corey is a little bit occupied right now, but he's gonna chime in when he can, and I'm happy to have you here.
I'm working.
Awesome.
Don't tell the boss.
I'm also working. Don't tell my boss.
You don't sound
Corey,
like
do you
you're
remember?
working.
Yeah, but Corey remembers when he and I were working and we both drove for Michael Waltrip. That's an inside joke.
All right, inside jokes.
In the middle of a broadcast. Perfect timing.
Let's see if we can go through the field here.
Well, starting on the pole, I believe, if the ticker is right, because that's what I'm reading.
Yep, it's gonna be your teammate.
Garrett Lowe. I'd like to point out that I made the show and Garrett did not so far.
Well, Garrett had some unfortunate events happen last night.
Yeah, let's see if we get some payback here, because in the row right behind him, we've got Colton Salick. And, you know, as we know, Colton did the longest and fastest drift in race car history, followed by a somersault.
We definitely need these guys to grid so we can go through them, show off their paint schemes, but we got... NASCAR fan 999, Joseph Selby.
Perfect,
Bud
like that,
Hale.
Chris.
William Logan, Rudy Valentine, Anthony Alfredo in this race, making another appearance. Last night didn't go as planned; got a speeding penalty. And
yeah, you know, I saw Anthony. He was doing a lot of laps before this race, so I hope he's got it all figured out.
Controller King, Matthew Bachman, Josh Parker. Let's adjust this camera angle a little bit. Josh Parker in the FedEx machine.
You know, Josh Parker's so close to making it in last night. Heartbreak in the final corner in the final race of the night. And he's got to go out here and win.
He does.
He's got to do it running against the best.
Yeah, he's going to be running against some really tough competition. Garrett Smithley making another start. And we'll show you guys the right rear quarter panel now that's been fixed. The painters did a great job of simulating a nice little scuff marks on the side there. But
Want to do a quick through the field here before we go green?
We probably won't get all the way through, but you can go as fast as you can.
All right, I'll do it. Starting on the pole with a 30.291. Am I reading that right? Is Garrett Lowe. Starting on the outside is Oysen Walsh. Sorry if I butchered your name.
Oysen Walsh.
Oysen Walsh. Colton Salick starts P3 with a 30.67. Josh Parker, so close to making it in last night, got a 30.637, and he's going to be starting P4. And then in P5, we've got Spencer Pree for the Moonsport entry. Andy Trupiano starting 6th, and then we've got everybody else because we're going green.
Yes, we are. All right, let's go ahead and go up to the lead. Garrett Lowe leads him to the green flag.
Correct.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's get copyright striked. I don't know if that's trademark or not.
There's a big stack up on that outside
yeah,
line.
76 did not get going,
Yep.
boys.
Really hard to get going on the outside line. I struggled with it both restarts yesterday.
He's coming back though. Look at that runoff too. Oh, never mind.
My picks. I was talking to Brian before the race, and my picks to win were Garrett and Colton, and they ended up signing up for the same race, and I could not be happier.
Oh man, man, oh man! It's gonna get nice.
Camera off turn 4. We got a Bob. We got him a job. He's hanging a selfie stick off the side of the wall there. That's how we get the overhead shot there.
Oh, that's great to hear. Little side-by-side action for third right now, and for about 6, looking pretty wide, but gonna think better of it.
Yeah, you have to imagine these guys are going to be a little bit patient just to make sure that they get to that comp caution without ruining the race.
Up front, I don't expect any tire saving, since I believe everyone will take tires on that 15.
At least not for this first run, yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do the second run around, but looking like Garrett's got it figured out. Didn't really play the strategy too well last night, so.
Garrett on board, Garrett Lowe.
Honestly,
Single file all the way back to about 13th right now.
yeah, speaking of 13th, I just wanted to talk about AJ. Running this race on a controller is absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe that he's doing it. I don't buy it. And looking at the steering wheel, I don't think he's on a controller.
I was with you and in that boat, and then he sent me proof, irrefutable proof. He does. And we have a pass for the lead right now.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. These two are not going to play nice. Oh, they played nice.
Oh, man. Are they going to go 3 wide right now? Going
They
into...
are.
Oh. He's going to back out on the top side.
You know, Spencer Preet is not a bad driver. He's actually pretty good.
I don't think
know.
anybody's a bad driver, Chris, if they're able to make it around this track with this setup.
I'm just saying I would not be surprised if he went out here and won this race.
And
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like that, we've done an inverse. It looks like the front 6 are side by side, and the rest of the field has strung out into a single file line.
As GW would say, it's a 180-mile-an-hour pace lap.
As Spencer Preet edges ahead at the start-finish line. Colton Salick dropping back a second.
I'll tell you what, guys. I don't know. I know Garrett's good. I don't know if I can confidently say that these guys are just
A little
passing him.
little bit of a low
Hey, look,
entry there.
He's backing up the corner, and I don't know if I agree with that. We'll have to see if it pays off. Maybe he's not gonna take tires on the yellow.
Oh,
I wouldn't. No way.
I would have to imagine everybody takes tires on the only competition caution, but you know what? We've seen stranger things in NASCAR. I just don't think it's going to be tonight that we'll see the crazy strategy pay off.
Well, you know, we fall off almost 4 seconds, so I wouldn't be surprised if somebody tries it.
I'm really proud of these guys. So we've got 30 cars in this field, and these guys didn't make a lot of these guys didn't make the twins, and they're holding on to this thing just fine. A lot of car control out there. Colton Salick gonna take a look though for the race lead.
We got P11 back here. Give a quick call to Jeremy Lukaska. He got that car unstuck from the safer barrier from last night.
Oh yeah.
He's back out here digging.
Yeah.
I wonder where they found the car, because it certainly wasn't on property.
Oh, that's in Junior's graveyard now.
Oh man, Garrett Smithley just moved Andy Trippiano out of the way.
He really did.
Sent him.
You can see the red tape on that car.
You gotta understand, you have 15 laps here. This is a sprint. You're not even worried about conserving your tires here. You just want to get up front as soon as possible.
You really do. This is just a all-out hot lap competition right now.
Yeah, Garrett definitely has it figured out better than he did last night. So, good job, Garrett.
I was talking to him right before the race, and he was talking how he was not too confident going into this race. He was saying that he doesn't have it figured out. He wasn't sure what he needed to do to be quicker, but I guess between that conversation and now, he's had the light bulb go off in his head.
Well, from what I've noticed, just given my race analysis, not that there's a winner in the booth or anything from last night. He's matting it down the front stretch, and I don't know if you want that, especially on these long runs. Well, I mean, this first run is fine, but
Certainly.
You can definitely get away with it on this 15-lap run, but you're gonna have to really consider that for the rest of the race. It's gonna be a 45-lap race after that.
Yeah, this first run is technically just qualifying too. Get up as high as you can, get some track position, and get ready for the restart.
That's right.
Sailing moving down again. It's really hard to pass on the bottom once the tires get worn.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Ross Brockman. He's running 28th right now, running the high side, but he's got Menards logos all over that Dodge Charger. So, you go, Ross.
Losing a little bit of touch with the leaders, but nice to see everybody come out. Really appreciate everybody supporting the event. And this thing, you know what? He might just be saving his tires for that comp caution, guys. Like, is that a strategy? And then take your tires halfway through that second run? Under green?
If I'm somebody like, let's say, Nick Morse. Nick Morse, we know Nick is good enough to get into this event. But as far as going up there from 15th place, passing Garrett Lowe, you know, and passing Josh Parker and all the former Cope guys, and then future hopefuls like Colton Salick and Spencer Preet, I don't know if you're going to be able to do it. So if I'm Nick Morris, I'm staying out in this first yellow, and I'm going to do something to try to make my way into this show.
You know what, guys? And we've had a couple of people say that they might not be able to make the main event. I think somebody out of the Slip Angle Motorsports camp might have said that. We'll keep that a secret for now, but I have to imagine we might have a promoter's choice on our hands here if somebody can't make the show and can't find a sub driver.
Perhaps a fan vote.
Perhaps a fan vote. You know, we've got to figure out how to accommodate, you know, ourselves filling out that field. We're gonna grid with 43 drivers. I don't care if somebody's gonna...
Oh, we almost had some bad trouble there. Tyler Wood went up the racetrack, almost got into AJ. Oh, and AJ's hitting the wall.
Oh no.
Oh, there's three
just
wide
needs to
back there
hang
too.
on. Oh no! We got a comp caution anyway. As the comp caution comes out, Landon Huffman involved. Right as the comp caution is displayed. Oh my word.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and
that's heartbreak.
I was clicking that button as quick as I could, actually.
Yeah. I mean, get them to know that, you know, they got a comp caution coming. No need to...
I don't know about that, Landon. You might just want to take that one over to Dale Jr.'s graveyard. That thing's all sorts of not having a good time.
Really is, yeah. Let's
that close to the yellow as well. That's heartbreaking.
Oh yeah, AJ just gets a little sideways on the front stretch, the hardest part of this entire track, and then it's just it catches everybody by surprise, and as I just said, hardest part of the track to drive, and people cannot make adjustments like that if somebody has a problem, and we see that Landon you know, kind of pays the price for it, but just you know, that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see that more tonight. Just people making mistakes on the front stretch.
Oh, and then those two cars at the end there.
I was gonna say, AJ was doing great. He was up 5 positions there right before that competition caution came out, and he was making his way through the field. I mean, he may not have won the race, but he certainly was gonna go on and put out a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that thing is killed. Unless somehow he made the setup better with the camber in the right front, that thing is done for. That's a shame for him.
So we got
it looks like everybody's coming down pit road. I don't think anybody's staying out.
Yeah, well, at least they get the comp caution to try to fix some damage, but likely for Landon Huffman, his race is over almost before it starts.
Garrett Lowe and Oysten Walsh both slid through their box. I don't think it's going to hurt Garrett too bad. He actually gains a spot, so multiple people must have slid through.
Yeah, Burrows had a pretty good stop. Went in 6th. Come out 4th. Do we have... No, we don't. I thought the 76 may have been speeding there for a moment.
We got 5 people still in their pits. Christopher Kemry just left his pit, so he I was gonna see how long that's gonna take. It looks like AJ is out of his pit as well, so still in the race for AJ and Kemry, but you know, this isn't one of those races where you can get in the top 10 in advance. You're gonna have to win it. So
There's
gonna
AJ.
be tough.
AJ, you know what? As much as we thought that was a hard hit on the outside wall, I think, you know, it could actually help him. Maybe make that car a little bit tighter. It's very possible that, you know, AJ's not out of this quite yet. Obviously, a lot of ground to make up, and
He's gonna lose a lot of straightaway speed, though. I don't know.
he really probably will, but we've got a lot of horsepower to compensate for that. So thankfully, not as sensitive as the current Cup car as far as that goes.
Last night we were having a heated discussion on the color of AJ's car, and I can say definitively, without a doubt, seeing it in the simulator, that it is 100% red. For some reason, the screenshot and the angles we were getting the other night, it looked orange to me, and I was fighting on that hill, and I guess now's the time to give the public apology.
As you see an orange car right in front of him.
Well, my argument was that orange is just a mixture of red and yellow. So if there is any yellow in the color red, it is technically orange. So I don't know, but we're going green.
It's a good analysis of colors right there. We're gonna go green here. Speaking of colors,
that's why I'm here. Spencer Preet, Garrett Lowe, Colton Salick, Anthony Burrows, green flag. I'm having fun, can you tell?
Absolutely, and I am sure you're not the only one on track right now having fun.
I'm glad I'm not on track.
Oops. There we go.
This is the longest run. This is the longest run we will see
before
so
tomorrow
far in these races.
Yeah.
So this will be
probably
really interesting to see how these guys manage their tires.
Yeah.
I'll say it's definitely you're gonna try and pick the best of the crop here, who can manage their tires the best with this 45 lap run. So
yeah, what I'm really worried about here is these guys on older tires, you know, or these guys going up and racing real hard, and then having there be no yellows.
Yep.
I don't know. Oh, Garrett got in some trouble there. He's all right. Garrett Lowe. I forget there's multiple Garretts.
Garrett Lowe's already fallen back about 7 positions right now. I think he's just racing this really smart and deciding that let these guys burn their stuff off and take them one at a time later.
I agree. Yeah, I think Garrett's in a good spot.
I don't know, man.
If he can keep it clean, if he doesn't get shuffled too far back, obviously you don't want to lose too much touch with the leaders. As they, I thought they were looking 3 wide.
Yeah, Garrett and Garrett.
Yeah, the
Garrett
Garrett
show back here. Yep.
So Chris, have you found what's the best way to go out there and save tires for if you're knowing you're gonna have a long run like this?
Well, we've got a race tomorrow, so I don't know. No, what I found works really well, just managing that tire spin, keeping the car from sliding in any direction.
Look
honestly, is
we were just
the
on
best
board
thing.
there with Garrett, and he was hardly turning the wheel, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, if you're turning the wheel, you're giving up tire grip, you're putting down tire heat. You want to keep that thing as straight as possible. Honestly, for the longest time, I was half throttle down the front straightaway, just not trying to spin the tires whatsoever. So I'm certainly not the best at it. I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but 35 lap run, I don't know. Garrett Lowe is going to have to try really hard to get through all these cars. He's sitting P11 right now.
Yeah, and right now
I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
We kind of missed it, but Anthony Burrows to the race lead in that 62. That off-Depot machine.
I mean, it's definitely gonna get you sponsor time, but is it gonna get you in victory lane? That's a tough call. You wanna, is he burning up his tires? Is the question.
Well, if you're out there leading, the answer is definitely yes. I took the lead in last night's race, and I was going about 4 to 5 tenths slower than I thought I had to.
Yep.
And they still ran me down. They still caught me. So.
I personally think that Burrows is doing a great job with his tires right now. I don't see him pushing too hard, and might be pulling away a little bit, but he's keeping that car really straight, so he's not going to fall off too much. And we did see Seth the Merchant last night. He showed that you can pull away and maintain the lead without giving up too much of the gap back. So we'll have to see. You know, Anthony Burrows might be on, you know, similar driving style to Seth. We just don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. I mean, Burrows is a good driver. And with the track heat, 131 degrees out there, I think you gotta slow it down more than this if you want to win it.
I will, I was just checking in to see how our buddy AJ is doing in the back, and he's working his way through the field, and he doesn't appear to be too far off the pace. He's maintaining pretty well, so.
Yeah, the viewers can see that bright red car back near the back, but yeah, not
definitely
losing
red.
touch. Not losing touch.
And for those of you who missed it, right before the competition caution came out, there was a wreck towards the back of the field that took out a couple of drivers, most notably Landon Huffman, as well as Gilles Chatelain, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, who's from overseas in Europe.
On board
Shout
with
out to all of our European viewers.
on board with Anthony Burrows. Isaac saying that he doesn't burn tires. He's razor smooth, and I can kind of see that. He really isn't. If anything, he's turning a little bit left in the center. You just don't want. You want to avoid the massive correcting, unless you know you're really good at it. I think I saw Seth wheeling it down the front stretch a little bit, and he kind of was able to do it well. But ideally, you want to keep that wheel pretty straight.
Sorry to cut you off, Brian. We've got two drivers back here very unhappy with each other, Colton Salick and Spencer Preet. Colton very upset on the radio about how hard he's being raced by the 27. And they're definitely not giving each other any extra room right now, so this will be one to watch for sure.
It's interesting because it's starting to develop 2 or 3 separate groups of cars where you got the front 4, and then you have about 5th through 10th or 11th, and then a couple more car lengths back to the rest of the field. I'm curious if there's a group of people here who are trying to save tires, if that's the backpack or where that's at.
Yeah, well, the 3 that I'm thinking it's going to come down to are the 3 that are saving the most right now, and that's Josh Parker, Garrett Lowe, and Nicholas Morse. They are doing probably too much, but I mean, 45 laps, it's the longest run we've seen. I would not be surprised if Josh Parker comes out and wins this race, though, because when the tires get hot and your main goal is to get drive off the corner, Josh Parker is one of, if not the best.
Yeah, and Garrett's, you know, right behind him. I think Garrett's. I hate that he's having to run side by side a little bit more than he'd like, but see Garrett in that 21 car. I think that this could potentially get him up to the top 3. I'm just concerned about getting all the way.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see here. It's going to be very interesting the way it plays out. We've got 30 laps to go, so we're at the point where the yellow came out last yellow, or well, at the competition yellow. So we're gonna start seeing some comers and goers here soon.
You can visibly see, Chris, like the people, you know, obviously are taking care of their tires a lot more this run.
Yeah.
Oh no! Trouble.
Contact. Nick Morse. Nick Morse saved
Bud
it.
Hale got spun out.
We got one spun out. Yeah, towards the back.
Yeah, Bud Hale got turned by Nick Morse there.
Oh, and Craig's gonna get taken out as well. Oh, Craig was really looking forward to this. Oh man, but Bud Hale was actually able to right the ship and keep going with minimal damage on that Pennzoil machine.
Yeah, but the tires are damaged enough. His race is more than likely done.
Yeah, but no quit with Bud Hale. Looks like let's go back
and that's gonna separate the field out pretty significantly.
Yeah, it looks like Bud and Nick just came together. Oh, and another driver with some heavy contact. That blue car. That is Tyler Wood. Yeah, big damage on that car. So let's go back up to the race lead, see how this is looking.
You know, oddly enough, Nick Morse got no damage out of that, and in typical sim racing fashion, I think he's still got a shot at this thing, and he's still saving tires, still doing a good job. Dylan D. Thomas is all the way sideways back here in the battle for 15th.
And you know, it's a good thing I didn't say this earlier, but I was about to say before all that went down that, you know, it's interesting how clean this race has been, given that there's no cautions.
Yeah.
Thinking it's the slowest group, or part of the slowest group of qualifiers, there might be any correlation between the ability with car control and how difficult this might be, but it appears there is no correlation. These people are driving and they got it under control. They're quick and they're managing to have a really good race so far.
Yeah, I will tell you right now, I'm going to make my prediction. Ray called his shot last night. I'm going to call mine. The winner will not lead the white flag lap.
Oh, wow. That's bold
I'm going to
prediction.
tell you that. Because if I'm in second and I've got a shot at it, you do what you got to do here.
And
We've already seen one white flag pass for the lead already. I think we might have seen two, but I can't quite remember on that first race.
on
The
board.
guys in the fastest car on the track right now, it appears, is Jeremy Lukaszka, former Coke Series driver, or former Pro Series driver. He did a 32.93. Anthony Burrows doing 33.187 last lap. So we are starting to accordion back together here.
Yeah, and the chat saying we're sleeping on Walsh a little bit. We'll give him some love. Obviously in that second position, and he's looking really solid as well. Not burning up the tires. It looks like really smooth on the wheel. A little bit more correcting back to the right than we saw out of Anthony Burrows. It might just be that time of the run where people get a little bit more sideways.
Yeah, if
believe,
I want to be...
I believe
Go
Garrett
ahead.
Lowe just hit the throttle a little harder. He just ran a lap that was about 2 to 3 tenths faster than anybody else, and he's coming.
Yep.
Yeah, he's 2 seconds back right now off the race lead. Likely going to cut into that margin a little bit more. Oh, sorry, I went back to Garrett Smithley. Let's go back to Garrett Lowe here. Garrett
One
Lowe
thing-
is 3 seconds back, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Garrett Lowe's got to get to that 9 car, though. And that 9 car, they did have some contact last night, so I don't know how I liked his chances. But talking about Walsh again, if I'm in any spot on the field, if I could pick where I go, I want to be where he is right now. Following the leader, basing my pace off of his, not making any mistakes, waiting for my moment.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to be leading the way here. You know, I kind of want to see what pace that the leader is going to run and then judge my pace off of that. But Anthony Burrows is probably different. He likes to lead. He wants to set his own pace and just go from there. So we got a car on
As we see,
an apron.
Yep. Joe Dos Santos looked like he got in some trouble there.
He was involved in that first incident on this run.
Yeah, he just got
with a
loose
little
off
flow.
too, it looks like.
So we're gonna start noticing those drivers who may not have practiced on those longer runs here starting to struggle to keep the car underneath them. These tires, they have a lot of fall off now, and
Yep.
I heard one driver describe it as racing on an ice rink. So
We've got 2 NASCAR drivers side by side back here in
Yep, Garrett Smithley and Anthony Alfredo. Let's go. Fast Pasta makes the move.
Fast Pasta making a move on Garrett Smithley. I see a little bit of damage on Garrett's car. Is that the tape? I can't tell. But
Yeah, he's definitely got some right front damage on that car.
okay.
Yeah.
On board with Anthony Alfredo. This is a beautiful throwback, by the way. I would consider this a definite contender for the diecast award that will be given out.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Custom diecast. This is we'll do a rear chase here. Gotta love this, folks. It just throw back to the 2006 Kevin Harvick scheme in the Nationwide series, I believe at the time.
It was Bush.
Bush back in the day. There you go. All right.
and just keeping tabs on things. Garrett lost 2 positions last lap, and he just lost another going into turn 1. That damage might actually be pretty recent.
Yeah, Garrett back here struggling. The other Garrett Lowe in this 21 car, looks like last time by he was 2 tenths faster than the leader. So certainly on his way marching to the front with just under 20 laps to go here.
Actually, Garrett Smithley got that damage.
Lap 11,
Didn't-
it looks like.
He did not get it. I just watched it. He actually does not have real damage. It just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah, it looks like on lap 11 it just phantomly reported damage.
Oh,
So.
pass for second.
Colton Salick making a move on Walsh here as we were watching Garrett Lowe make a move as well. Oh man, it's
Colton is not making many friends out there. He just chirped at Walsh there, so Colton means business tonight.
You know what, guys? I think my pick for this race, I don't know if he's going to win, but Gabriel back here in 4th did a lot of practice with me and was able to hang right with me the whole run, whole 55-lap run about a month ago. So he certainly knows how to save his tires and been doing a lot of practice. So I expect him to be a contender at the end of this thing. No doubt about it.
You know, there are a lot of cars in the high 33s right now, and the only two I see that are in the low 33s, Josh Parker and Garrett Lowe.
And we got Isaac, our outside pole sitter for the main race, in the chat saying by the time Lowe gets to the front 3, he won't have any tread left.
Yeah, Anthony Burrows is really impressing me with his pace right now. His lap times are not bad for being leading for so long.
Who are we on board with? He's got the Dale helmet.
It's Gabriel.
All right. You know, that's won one of the races already.
Just updating everyone, it looks like Tyler Wood just pitted, and he's still in the pits, so might have gotten some damage on track and just pulling it off track.
Oh yeah, he's definitely pretty badly damaged. He was involved with that Nick Morse incident. Not trademarked by Nick Morse, of course, but.
And it seems like things are tightening up, except for the race lead. Anthony Burrows has a little bit of a gap here. A little bit.
Yeah, he's starting to pull away.
A little bit of breathing room, and you can kind of see the gap here.
So it's interesting. I'm looking through the field right now, and we have 2 pro drivers in the field. Mostly everyone else is A's, but we do have a Class D driver, and William Logan in 25th right now, wheeling it around. It's impressive that he's keeping it out there and keeping it on track. Still in the lead lap, good for him.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job. He's got, I mean, if you take a look at that car, it's got no damage. He's really hanging on. He's not sliding the tires whatsoever. I'm very impressed with that.
Josh Parker not quite making the ground up that Garrett Lowe was able to make up through the field, but still one of the faster cars nonetheless.
I think Josh sees how hard Garrett's driving. He's waiting. I mean, they might run out of time here, but Josh knows what he's doing. I think Josh really does. And, you know, he's been away from the sim for a little while. He may not be as refined as Garrett is, but he is as smart as ever. And I think he sees the situation.
Colton Salick just about wrecked it up in turn 4 that last lap. He is really struggling with the race car right now.
Yeah, really correcting back to the right there.
And here comes Garrett for P5 on Spencer Preet.
That's going to move Anthony Burrows 1 second ahead of the rest of the field.
I'm really telling you guys, I think when this 21 catches the 9 car, we're going to see some fireworks. It may be daytime, but there's fireworks in Atlanta.
I don't know, Chris. I don't know if there's as much drama there as you think, because I think Colton was having some connection issues with, you know, that incident last night.
It's just one of those classic Atlantas.
Right now, it's looking like a classic Atlanta for second place. Anthony Burrows, as you can see, way out there in the Office Depot machine.
And that's the thing about Anthony Burrows. You know, I thought that he didn't know that he needed to be saving tires, but what you don't know, you don't know.
Oh, it's like Craig's went down pit road. As we've got,
calling it a day.
Man, Garrett Lowe is picking them up and putting them down.
I'm looking at the lap times, though. He is not fast enough in this traffic to run down Anthony Burrows.
He's not, but maybe once he can get clear, he might be able to do something. It's just, it might be too little too late, as we've only got, looks like 8 laps to go, Chris?
We're coming to 9.
Coming to 9.
Garrett Lowe's going to be more than he's going to need to be more than 2 tenths a lap faster, and I just don't know if you can do that right now.
Yeah, and I think if I'm Colton, I'm gonna let Garrett go, because, you know,
Yeah, you may have to in this situation. It's the only chance he's got.
Yeah, he needs those guys to go up and start battling in front of him. I just don't see Anthony coming back to him.
Yeah, the situation has just drastically changed since, I mean, a matter of 5 laps.
You know, the cream does rise to the top here. We have Garrett Lowe and Anthony Burrows are the 2 pro drivers in the field. So
that's very true.
But that's quite the gap to overcome. 1.8 seconds ahead right now.
Yeah, just
I don't know if we'll be able to do it.
Like I said, I was feeling confident about Garrett getting the top 3, top 2, but Burrows just looks like a surgeon with his precision out there. We'll go on board with him real quick. Just really, really smooth driving by Anthony. He's got to be proud of what he's been able to do right now.
Yeah, well, Garrett needs 2/10 a lap. He got 200ths that time. I think we can call this one unless something happens.
Almost 3/10 a lap, actually.
Yeah, and I'm Garrett. I'm trying a different line here. I'm doing something because
yeah, what he's got going on right now is
not enough.
Not going to be enough unless he really finds something. This got to be heartbreaking for Garrett. Love to see him in the main show. Certainly deserving driver. Just had a mishap last night with somebody having some connection issues.
Yeah, that last time by
67 to 68, not enough.
No. And even if he does make up time on him here and gets to him, passing him's another thing. So coming to 5 laps to go this time by.
Man, my heart just breaks for Garrett and Josh Parker. Maybe 10 more laps in this race, but who knows?
I believe we just found ourselves a new contender for the race win on Friday, though.
Oh, Andy Triano in the wall hard. 87 car.
Well, you're not going to need that car after tonight if you're not winning this race, so you might as well use up every inch and quarter panel and everything you can to try and get at least a good enough finish here.
That's true. And last lap, Garrett Lowe gained an entire 1,000th.
Yeah, that's just not going to be what you need.
Yeah, if I'm Garrett, I think I would have started venturing to the middle, maybe giving that a shot. But everybody seems very committed to this bottom lane at the moment. Maybe we'll see that in the races to follow.
Do we possibly see any blown tires at the end of this run?
It's possible, but probably not with the race leaders here. I think these guys have been very, very smart.
Josh Parker looking 3 wide up top and on the front straightaway for the 5th position.
The only thing that might shake this up is about a straightaway ahead is 2 lap cars racing each other pretty significantly. Got a car into the wall in turn 4, but he's going to get it under control.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I would hate to be in the position of these lap cars here. I would hate for that to have an outcome on the finish. Garrett has picked it up. He's about a 10th a lap quicker now. I think Anthony knows he's done enough though.
Yeah.
Looking behind them, those 4 cars for that 3rd spot are just wheeling it.
Yeah.
Almost going 3 wide into turn 1.
Yeah, I kind of
wow.
wish this was for the race
Wow,
lead. It'd be pretty interesting. Josh Parker making that outside work, and he's going to probably clear Colton Salick off turn 2 here if he can stay in the gas.
I'm
Yep,
really
there he
surprised
goes.
that Garrett Lowe's not trying a different line. He's not gaining any time, and it just doesn't make. I know he saw how competitive it was up in the second group yesterday. He could have tried something. I believe he just thinks it's not enough, regardless of what line he runs.
White flag this time by. Still no signs of any sort of closing up, although he has brought that lead down to within 1.5 seconds. Just not going to be enough here.
I think without the traffic, Garrett might be there, but they just got held up a little bit longer than he wanted to with racing side by side, I do believe. As we got Anthony Burrows coming up out of 4.
That car won a lot of races back in the 2011s.
Woo!
He's going to race his way into the main event and get a subscription to VRS.
Oh, we got some issues on the front stretch here.
Colton Salick, once again in some trouble.
People drifting.
Josh Parker, P3.
Got some guys getting to the line. Looks like Colton Salick had some issues coming across the line. Oh, Gabriel gets loose, drifts. Oh, oh my goodness. Colton just cannot catch a break, man. But you know what? He had the speed there for the first, gosh, it seemed like, what, 40 laps or 30 laps of that run, and then Anthony was able to just drive away a little bit.
Deservingly, he's doing some donuts right now, giving the virtual fans a virtual smoke show.
It's vape time.
And the Tony Stewart Office Depot Mobile 1 throwback.
That thing was bad fast.
Yes, it was. It's going to bring a conclusion to our first last chance qualifying race, and that's going to eliminate some big names there.
My microphone stand just broke.
What do we got for the hard charger, Brian?
We got a 3-way tie right now for the hard charger award.
Oh, interesting.
My microphone stand just broke. Hold on.
Right now we have a 3-way tie for the hard charger award. So
we give that to the driver who finished highest.
Tiebreaker will likely be whoever scored the highest finishing position, which was gonna go to Tom Abramatis right now, I believe. I'll have to double check that. I did or didn't, I'm sorry. Abramatis. Okay, thank you.
He said it sounds like a disease. That's funny.
It's a good way to describe it. Oh, that's funny. Makes me laugh.
That was a good race. I'm proud of those guys for running so clean.
Yeah, pretty respectful event. You know, while I'm sitting here listening to Brian fix his microphone stand, I really just want to point out how great of an invention muting your microphone is. Well, we've got Anthony Burrows in the staging room. We're going to bring him in here. Anthony, you did it, man. You're in the show.
Man, I don't even know what to say right now, man. I can't believe I just held off Garrett Lowe, dude. That guy's insanely fast. That was a tough final 30 laps there.
Hey, man. We were watching it, and we were watching Garrett come through the field. And I personally thought he was going to go up there, and he was going to give you a challenge. But as the race went on, and I saw him struggle to get through the field, and you just started looking better and better there at the end. So tell us what you did. I got a race tomorrow. So I got to know what you're doing.
I mean, I think I restarted 4th right there. I haven't done a single run where I saved the tires yet, so I don't know how much to push or save at the beginning of that. And I felt like I was saving that first 2 laps off the restart, and I flew by everyone on the straightaway. And once I got to the lead, I just babied it as much as I could, but keeping the lead. And I knew if I could keep the lead, it'd be tougher for Garrett and Colton to get through because it's more cars they have to pass. So basically just kept it in front of Oysen, and I eventually pulled away from them. And yeah, I really don't know what else.
Yeah, well, man, great job.
We've seen some really impressive runs out of that particular Office Depot Chevy in this era. And, you know, I got to say, this one was no less impressive than what you pulled off tonight. So you got anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors? Anybody at home watching? Anybody overseas, perhaps?
Yeah, big shout out to Nexus Esports. We got pro coming up next week, so hopefully we can do good in that. And thanks to Brian and everyone for putting this event on, and thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, Anthony, you're welcome to hang around here for a little bit. We got we're gonna start loading up the next server, but man, you really showed us. I think I had a little bit of faith in you. Probably not as much as I should have, but Chris Overland was thinking you're probably gonna burn off your tires. You're going too fast.
I was very surprised.
I was looking at your wheel inputs. Yeah, I thought I was looking at your wheel inputs, and I realized that you were really not sliding that right rear whatsoever, and I felt like very confident that Garrett could get through the field. I didn't think that he would get all the way because he gave up a tremendous amount of time just racing side by side.
Yeah, I feel like I saved the right rear pretty good, a bit more than I normally do, but the right front tire the last couple laps was completely going away. And I was just plowing the whole corner.
Yeah. And did you think about moving up the track a little bit, maybe changing your line a little bit?
Not really. I just wanted to keep doing what I was doing, and I didn't want to risk running up the track and getting sideways off the corner or something like that happening.
Yeah. Well, great, man. Good job, and we'll see you on Friday, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay, well, yeah, Anthony Burrow is going to be racing for $500 tomorrow, and I really wouldn't be surprised if we see Anthony in victory lane tomorrow. So go get him, man.
We gotta get us a sponsor who's gonna be willing to put up a lightning challenge. Somebody who wins one of these triplets goes out and wins it. I think they should get a little extra. That's just my opinion. So, Ian Brian Blackford, if you want to be part of that.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we've got the schedule of events coming up here. We'll have to put another strike through the last chance triplet number 1.
Why don't you get the telestrator out, Brian? We know you love it.
I can't use it on this. Can't use it on this scene. Yeah, so we're gonna cross that out. All right, so we got 2 more people to advance to the Hard to Drive 300, the inaugural Hard to Drive 300, the 2020 rendition. There will be more of these in the future, I do imagine. Have to make it an annual occasion. What do you say, Chris? Anthony?
I think next year maybe we bring it to Darlington or Bristol.
That'd be pretty fun. I think Darlington would be good.
Darlington would be very fun. Very
Martinsville,
challenging.
but not a lot of big events at Martinsville, man. I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know. We'll throw it to the fans. What are we doing next year, guys? Phoenix or Richmond? We could go to the old Phoenix. You know how I feel about Phoenix, Brian.
We could very well go there. The only thing that I would say is we have high horsepower right now for short tracks, and although it's not exactly hard to drive in this sense that like we've kind of created here, it is still very hard to drive over in Class A right now on the short tracks. You can burn up your stuff pretty easily, and that's what makes this event kind of special, is just having it on the track where you would normally have high downforce over on the Class A side.
I do wish we still had the option to run a restrictor plate at Daytona in this car, because doing this car at the old Daytona would be a blast, especially if it was hard to drive, real hot race.
What about Old Texas?
You know how I feel about Old Texas. You taught me how to drive that track.
There you go. Old Michigan in the chat. Daytona Road Course for AJ Henderson. Old Pocono. Atlanta in reverse.
I'd like to see Auto Club.
Auto Club would
Michigan.
be cool. Yeah.
Give Auto Club a nice send off.
Old Michigan, old Texas would be one of those 2.
Now real quick, I don't have Danny Hansen as an eligible driver for the last chance.
Oh, is he in the?
But he is. But I also don't have him listed as a transfer driver.
He was a Kevin King transfer, as far as I'm aware.
I don't know. You know, I said that if he didn't put a qualifying lap down, he wasn't eligible for the last chance races. But I don't know. Should we go to the chat with this one?
Was he not? He was able to race yesterday for Kevin.
I'm
correct?
sorry. We're turning down the music now. My apologies.
He's still in the car for Kevin, it looks like.
Still in the car for Kevin. Okay, so he's still racing on Kevin's behalf. Okay, that's how he actually got in the server. So that's another case of just having a sub driver. So we'll let that go. He's welcome to sub again tonight. We made that ruling last night. Sorry for the music, guys. I was.
So you've got color commentary, race control, and interviews all in the same channel. I do like this.
Yeah, production, everything. All right. Well, you know, we let Danny race last night in sub for Kevin. So you know what? We made that ruling last night. I didn't realize he was in under Kevin as well this event. So I think that we'll have to let it go because why wouldn't he be able to, you know, race again if he subbed last night? I think.
Why not? Let him eat.
Yeah, he's just replacing Kevin King, who's very capable in his own right of, you know, making the show. So if Danny makes the show, it's a sub driver, and that's what we're allowing. And if anybody is in the main event, we are allowing sub drivers to a certain extent. You have to get it admin approved and make sure that, you know, you run it by us first. Make sure, you know, qualified driver. Otherwise, we will. If you don't have anybody available, we'll take. You know, we'll probably maybe do a fan vote. Somebody who finished in, you know, a decent race in the last chance races and couldn't quite get in. So keep that in mind, guys. If you're anybody out there in chat who's locked into the race, can't make it, let us know.
I love love.
All right, I just validated with Danny that he said that he's still subbing for Kevin King, and he said yes. So.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know, Brian, I would be remiss if you didn't run one of these tonight. I know you got a broadcast, but I think you should run for Ethan in the third race.
Ha. You know what? I think
Come on, Brian.
I would love to, and I actually would, but my computer, I reset up my computer so everything is over at my desk and
Race
not
with the
at
controller.
I could race with a controller, but I really don't think that's a good idea, AJ, unless you're gonna race for me.
I didn't do very good in that race, so I don't think that's a good idea either.
Man, AJ, your wreck was so close to the caution, man. What were you doing?
I don't know. I thought I got hit, but from behind, but I didn't. I guess I just lost it.
Oh, goodness. Oh, for Pete's sake.
And I think somebody like neck coded into me and wrecked after that too.
We have
All
a
right.
really short field here. It's only really looking like we got about.
Yeah, I
don't
predicted that
know.
the second race would be less filled than the other two. I think people are thinking, I'm going to do the first one because nobody's going to want to do that one. I'll do the last one because everybody will race by then. I thought the middle one would be the one that everyone ignores.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
you appear to be right. 16 drivers entered.
how many drivers or how many minutes do we have left in practice there?
We have about a minute and a half right now.
Open it up.
I feel like if there's anybody in the chat right now who's listening who still wants to make it in, it feels like they're confident in their abilities to get in this one right now. I think this will be the easiest road to success of the three races.
I would agree.
Spots open for Brian.
I'd love to, but yeah.
We have
Challenges.
an additional driver in the 14 car who is registered and loading in.
Well,
It could be Tony.
Speaking of good drivers, old Giller just joined the server.
Oh, is
Mm-hmm.
he's already in the show.
Oh, I
He's
don't know what he's doing then. He's probably spotting.
Yeah, we just had Blake Neer sign up for the event in the 14.
That is a man who could win the damn thing too.
Giller might be spectating because I'm in spectator chat, so I just saw him connect.
And we
Yeah.
just had somebody connect. Okay, it looks like we're getting a couple more people in here. We got 17.
That's what I was
Not
thinking.
sure.
People were gonna wait and see who's in the race first and then join.
Yeah.
Question, Brian,
Yes, sir.
and other professional drivers in this chat. The track was 10 degrees cooler in the race. Do you think that changed anything at all?
Oh, it wasn't
Oh, yeah.
10 degrees cooler than last night.
It was
They
the air
qualified.
temp was 80, at least.
Yeah, I mean
But the track temp was still 90, or
the
139.
well, that changed things for qualifying, but all the practice races that we've done have been 80 clear. So
Oh, okay. Cool.
yeah,
Well, then never mind then.
nothing really changed a whole lot there.
And just to update you, Chase Pierce is the last driver to be able to register for the session. So that's going to give us 18 drivers out on track.
Who you taking?
We got Logan Helton coming off pit road here.
I will take Danny Hansen to win this race.
He was a Road to Pro Series winner, correct?
He's actually a Coke Series winner at Charlotte
Oh.
back in, gosh, I think that was 2014 or 2013. So definitely a successful driver there.
I was gonna
also-
take Hansen, so I'll take. I assume N Stewart is Nate Stewart. I'll choose him.
I feel like Blake Neer is a pretty solid choice as well.
Got Pedro Mojica in the server as well. Nathan Rabidou. I think I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm gonna try to save my pick after qualifying.
Lap 59.
Danny Hansen just ran a 6:11, and he's gonna call that a lap and take it off.
Oh, Logan really getting close to the wall off of 2 there.
Danny Hansen really left a lot of time out there.
Oh, Logan
Garrett Lowe ran out
Helton.
2.
Logan Helton hits the wall a little bit off of 4.
And this is legitimate qualifying, so if you get any sort of green text at the top of your screen, that lap is disallowed. So don't want to do that for sure.
Alec Martinez make the Firecracker 400 earlier this year. Oh, looks like having some connection issues there.
Halfway through qualifying, and 10 out of the 18 drivers have elected to put a lap down.
And Victor Valley, another driver that we can't really sleep on here, just had a heck of a time trying to qualify, but I expect him to be pretty good.
Yeah, he's about
Right.
almost a second behind the leader, 9/10 of a second behind the leader's qualif time.
Not the run he wanted. Let's take a look and see if what happened to Victor here.
I have something really interesting. I'm not sure what's going on here, but Danny is still on track, just running 130 miles per hour on the track. Wonder if he's trying to get any information on those tires, or what he's trying to do with that.
I'm trying to see what Victor did here. I thought he was going to run a little bit quicker than that. Just didn't get the run he wanted to on his first lap, so he slowed down for the second lap. Blakely?
Danny,
He
somebody was
said,
saying.
yeah, he said he hit the wrong button.
You guys got me now?
We got you, Josh.
Oh boy. People are suggesting that Danny is trying to go out there and rubber in the track, but I think once it's at 100% usage, you can't take any more rubbers. Am I wrong on that thought?
I think he's just trying. Yeah, I think you're. I don't know if running around the track a couple times would really change it much, anyways.
Yeah,
If it wasn't 100, but
I don't think that that's his intentions, but I did see, I checked out the replay from last night, and the track did actually rubber in a little bit more. It got a little bit darker from the start of the race to the end of the race, so you can see here, talking about this dark groove on the track right here. That got a little bit darker over the course of the race last night. Races.
Well, final qualifying lineup. Danny Hansen with a 6:11 takes the pole, nowhere near that 2/10 of a second bracket that we saw last qualifying round. Nicholas Carey with a 6:27, Pedro Mojica with a 6:43, Tyler Dubois with a 6:45, Blake Neer with a 7 flat, Logan Helton with a 7:08, and taking in 7th spot would be Matt Campbell with a 7:36. Going on from there, we have Presley Sora in the 8th place position with a 7:45, Nate Stewart with a 7:85, Ryan Hunt rounding out the top 10 with a 7:91, and Alec Martinez with an 8:41 in the 11th position, Lucas Davella with a 9:75, Chase Pierce with a 31:123, Victor Valley with a 31:531, and 5 drivers elected not to take a time on track. Those included are Nathan Rabideau, Jeremy Miller, Aaron McCarron, Jason Fellenbaum, and Rudy Valentin.
Yeah, and I think a couple of those had some issues where they did smack the wall a little bit, but I think a couple of them also, including Jason Fellenbaum, probably know that they've got that comp caution at lap 15, so they might just be chilling out here at the start of the race. Danny Hansen in that 029 car. Gonna have the Mustang pace car for this race. A 28 Navy car is Nicholas Carey. Pedro Mojica is going to start 3rd in that red car, red Impala. And then we've got Tyler Dubois starting on his outside. Go through the rest of the field for you. Blake Neer, good driver. Definitely going to work his way towards the front. Presley Sora, nice dodge, love that scheme. Ryan Hunt, we saw him fast last night. Matt Campbell. Nate Stewart.
Pace car's in. Flag is in the air with a wonderful launch for Kevin. Or, sorry, Danny.
Danny.
Yeah, Kevin King driving out there in the Danny Hansen machine, or the other way around.
With the Kevin King entry. There we go. Now I don't sound like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh! Car on the wall off
Getting-
turn 2.
3 wide towards the back of the pack. Wow.
That might have been...
We're just getting... getting right into it.
Yeah, I think that Ryan Hunt was right around that. It might have been Lucas back there getting into the wall.
Pedro's already worked his way up to second place. 2/10 back from Danny.
I anticipate there's going to be probably a fight between Pedro and Danny here for the first part of this race. But I expect some more contenders to join them up here up front after the comp caution.
Yeah, no saving for the first 15 laps.
That's a rough night so far for Matt Campbell. He's already dropped 7 spots since the beginning, but Nathan Rabideau is up 5, up to the 13th position.
Yeah, Matt Campbell in that white car you see there, the 49. Dropping back a little bit. Nope, visible damage from what I can tell, just a little bit off the pace.
Everybody here is A-class driver except for Chase Pierce, who is the only sole driver that doesn't have a blue license with a C-class license right now, but he is up 4 positions from where he started.
Yep, Chase
Good
Pierce.
day for him.
Ooh, Chase Pierce in the wall, and 3 and 4 were on board with him right now. Just got out from under him.
That darn commentator's curse.
Oh, just struggling with the handling on the front stretch. So you look, battle for 6th here looks like it's heating up.
Ooh, 3 wide. 3 wide going into turn 3 right there. They managed to get it under wraps there and make it 2 wide, but boy.
Danny Hansen actually with a pro license. We'll be seeing him in a couple of Tuesdays, next Tuesday.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Made the Pro Series this year.
Huh. Very interesting. Well, that's exciting for him.
Alec Martinez in this really nice Kyle Busch car, pedigree car that won here once at Atlanta. Maybe multiple times, but nice to see Kyle Busch scheme. I don't think we've seen too many of those.
We're on lap 10 right now, working through that, coming to lap 11, which is going to be about 4 laps to go till the competition caution on track and bring everybody down pit road and get 4 fresh Goodyears.
gonna have a battle for second.
Oh wow! Very loose
Or
there for
third.
Blake Neer. Sorry, I think I peaked the microphone there. that was pretty wild.
Blake Neer struggling already.
Yeah,
Dropped back a couple positions in a couple corners.
he's ready for that comp caution, I do believe.
Is there anybody who's impressing you so far?
Mr. Danny
Other than
Hansen
everybody?
and Pedro Mojica.
Yeah, everybody's been relatively clean this race. Obviously, Pedro up there, no surprise. And who did I say my other pick was that I wasn't sure about? Like who I wanted to pick. Ryan Hunt, I think it was.
Okay.
I was thinking that he would potentially... Oh, as we got a car on the wall in the backstretch there. You saw it. Yeah, Ryan Hunt really drove through the field last night. Not quite making the progress he wanted to right now, but go back to Ryan Hunt back here in this Jimmy Johnson special.
Yeah, up one position so far.
I will say I'm not sure if this is a strategy on Nathan's part, but Nathan Rabideau up 8 positions could very well just be saying, I'm not going to win this race, so I might as well go for that hard charger award.
Yeah, it's a great point. Why not go for the hard charger if you might not think you have the best chance of winning? I think nobody's out of it. We've still got everybody on the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean, I think with how many people he's passed so far, he's let's see, who's second on the most passed so far is Alec Martinez with 4. So Rabideau has double that. I don't know. He might be a sleeper for this race. He's able to get up there after this competition caution.
He made the Firecracker 400, so he knows how to perform under pressure. So.
Also, one thing I noticed with these races is with how wore out these tires get when you come to pit, that if you nail your pit stop perfectly, you can gain so many spots because everybody's being pretty conservative when they come in to get their tires.
As the caution,
it's so easy to lock up.
Yeah, perfect time
got
to start
so caught
talking
up in the racing. We got to lap 16 and it snuck up on me there. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. So well, they'll go a little less on their tires this time around. Blake Neer says he needs a driver swap. Well, if you have anybody in your own household, we can't police that. If you want to make a driver swap, feel free, Blake. But Danny Hansen leading the show here as they're going to make pit stops here. A good time to start talking about pit stops, AJ.
Yeah. I'm interested to see who gains and who loses here.
Yeah.
No, we haven't seen anyone even remotely just give the idea of staying out here or any sort of thought, so.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty tough to make that decision, but you never know. Can split that next run up.
I think those boys' last race proved that staying out is not going to work.
Have one taker staying out. Jason Fellenbaum is staying out on track here.
Yeah, we'll see if he pits around with next time by or not.
Oh, somebody missed their box. Looks like that's Tyler Dubois. He missed his stall. You saw him have to abort mission there.
Jason was not pitting, and he was in the 17th position when that caution came out. So he could very well be playing a strategy of waiting till 2 to go or 1 to go to come down to pit road and get those tires. I don't know if that's going to save you much on tire wear, but we'll keep those tires more fresh compared to the other people on track.
Yeah, and I fully expect Tyler to come back down pit road as he missed his box. Tough break, and that's definitely not what you want.
Very interesting. We'll see what Jason does here.
Yep.
And there he is. He's coming down pit road.
Yeah, I think Jason knows that might be a strategy if they had 2 sets of tires. Maybe that's something to consider for next year. What do you think, Corey? Maybe give them 2 sets so that maybe some guys can split up that next run if they wanted to.
For this race?
For next year. Maybe give them 2 sets of tires, and that way, you know, you can pit under green if you want. Maybe split up the 45 lap run in half, or maybe make the race a little bit longer.
I don't see why not. Somebody could try it. I just think the pace that those guys set last race, there's no way that anybody, even if you go hard for 23 laps each run, I don't think there's any way to catch that.
Yeah. Well, we could set the track state to 0% and.
And then your tires
Now
are
we're
destroyed in about
talking.
10 laps, right?
And then just give you 1 set for 100 laps. How about that?
Yeah, it would have been cool to see maybe the competition on lap 15, but you have to take tires under green after that.
Well, green flag is back in the air.
Oh, that's a great idea, Corey. I like that idea.
We haven't seen green flag pit stops yet, so that would be very interesting.
Wow, look at this run on the outside.
Yeah.
Look at that, side by side for the lead right now.
This is what I was hoping would happen. I hope these guys push each other and then realize about 30 laps from now that they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Pedro to the race lead. Mojica out front at Atlanta.
Danny peeking back on the inside here. This is Kevin Harvick paint scheme, or style paint scheme here.
Oh yeah, Pedro's really diving it in there. See if he can make that right rear hang on throughout the whole run. But you know, another question I have is who's going to be driving this 029 car if it is able to get to victory lane in this race?
I apologize, Kevin. It's a 110% Kevin King race car. Still staying there though, not letting Pedro get any farther ahead. Actually working on him right here, getting real close.
These guys are stepping away a little bit from Blake Neer, who said he needs a driver change. Maybe that driver change happened. No way to know, but have to imagine he's probably the best driver in his household. As oh, a little bit of
Jason Fellabaum is slow off the pace.
Yeah.
Looks like he's just gonna call it a day here. And
Kevin King is wondering who can be in the car for tomorrow's race if that 029 makes it in.
Well, it needs to be somebody. You know what? It needs to be either Danny Hansen or somebody else who has registered for the event. We made an exception, I think, you know, for Danny. It was last moment, and I think it's only fair that it's somebody who actually has signed up for the event and has supported the event by, you know, going through, signing out the Google Doc and, you know, going through qualifying. Maybe one of the drivers from qualifying, but Danny's certainly welcome to pilot this car for the main event. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Pedro Mojica leading the way here and looking pretty good. It's just a battle of just not overusing those tires right now. Just trying to keep it as straight as you possibly can.
Danny can, he's kind of wondering if he's going to be playing the the controller here, Pedro, and trying to push Pedro to overdo his tires or what. But he has a little bit of control over the pace that they're going at right now.
Yeah, Pedro probably looking in the mirror, just wondering, you know, if he needs to go a little faster, a little slower. Trying to judge his pace off of Danny by, you know, how he's, you know, seeing the gap close in his mirror a little bit. Making sure he's not, you know, Danny might switch up his line here. He's got to be cognizant of that. Could very well start running the outside. And you've seen that once you get to the outside of another car, it's pretty easy to just complete a pass. So Pedro's got a lot going on right now, trying to, you know, maintain that gap, but you know, like Anthony Burrows did last race, but he's, you know, also looking out at that windshield, you know, trying not to focus too hard on Danny, because you can get in your own head and just start making mistakes if you don't look out the windshield often enough.
Look at that number 30 car in P4, up 11 spots.
Jeremy Miller.
Wow, that's impressive right there, up 11. Nathan Rabbit is gonna have to at least make up 2 more spots to even be in contention for that if Jeremy finishes where he's at.
This battle for the lead, I just don't think it's ever going to go away. They're probably going to run really close together throughout this entire run, unless, you know, unless Danny may be holding a little bit back. I just don't see either of these drivers really slipping a whole lot, and you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe one of these guys will fade a lot more than the other, but I just really see them both being pretty cautious right now with the tires. And maybe I haven't been paying attention to Blake nearly as much as I should have, probably at the start of this run. He might be saving a little bit more than both these guys.
Yeah, and Near's only 1.3 seconds back right now, so he's still there within striking distance at any time. But you don't want to get too far back there, or you start playing a game of catch-up, as we saw last race.
What do we got in the chat, guys? Who do you think's gonna pull this off? I think, you know, we kind of established these top 3 as, you know, they pulled away significantly from 4th place. I don't want to rule any of those guys out back there, but looking pretty solid out front here for these 3.
I'll do you one better. I'll make a poll.
Oh, wow.
Wow, look at that.
You made a poll? How did you make a poll?
Oh, you just do /poll in chat.
Oh, so
it
you're
comes
an
up with
admin. You can do
rounds. Yeah, I'm a mod.
that. Mod.
I threw my vote in there.
All right. Who do
Yeah,
I
I
have
did the
to
top
pick?
4 and then other.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna. Oh, looks like Danny Hansen is winning the votes right now.
Oh, others making a comeback.
Yeah,
Not a
somebody
lot
out.
of shocking. I'm actually not surprised with the lack of faith in Mojica from the viewing audience.
Yeah, I think they're just seeing him pull away a little bit, and that's a little concerning, considering Danny's not going to have to fight any traffic whatsoever. If he's saving just a little bit more, that can pay off big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
As he kind of closed the gap down the backstretch there.
And I'm still pretty surprised that Alec Martinez is still in the 7th spot, given his racing prowess and everything I've seen from him. So maybe he'll come be a late runner. A little bit of frustration on the radio from Victor Valley. go and see what that was. What's going on back there?
I'm seeing that, you know, the rear end of that of Pedro's car just step out a little bit more than I'd feel comfortable with at this point. But both these guys running some absolutely incredible races right now. Just really, really solid drive for both these guys, regardless of who ends up on top. And Blake Neer, not too far back. We can bring him into frame really quick. Not too far back, and still just 1.3 seconds off the lead, not losing hardly any time to the leaders.
Like chat is going with Danny Hansen. He won the pole.
Yeah, and
So let's see how this shakes out.
yeah, and he's not the race leader right now, so the chat anticipates some action, and I'm just waiting. AJ, I'm waiting for somebody to leave the bottom of the track here.
We Chase Pierce has withdrawn from the session. It's gonna actually give Jason Fellbaum a position. He is 2 laps down in 17th place.
On board with
Blake
Danny
Neer
Hansen.
did smack the wall a couple laps ago entering turn 3. He's got a little bit of right front damage now.
Yeah, still,
I've been seeing Mojica go up from the bottom here and there. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but
yeah, and it's mainly on corner exit. As you see Danny here, right on the white line. I mean, that's where you really want to be. As you can see, closes
He
up
is
a
making up
lot.
room. Making up a lot of space right there. He's now half a car length back. Oh, look at this. He's peaking now.
Yeah, if I'm Pedro, I don't give up the outside here.
well, is he gonna be able to defend the outside as well with his? Looks like his right rear is pretty worn out.
Yeah, well, we heard from a couple of drivers that moving up to the top of the track could potentially help you.
Oh, we got contact!
Oh
Contact!
boy.
I don't see much damage, but that's certainly not what you want to do with a little over 20 laps left in the race.
Yeah, and man, this can be tight. Pedro could find something here on the outside. I've heard from a few drivers that, you know, running up higher can tighten up that car a little bit. Pedro's just struggling with that rear end a little bit more than Danny right now. Just needs to, you know, settle in. I don't think this is over by any means. I think, obviously, side by side, clearly not over. But even if Danny gets around, I think Pedro can kind of chill out. You know, on that outside, even maybe just start just trying to manage that right rear tire in particular. Oh, they're so close.
Now, are these guys gonna be burning their tires up, and is that gonna give Blake Neer an opportunity to make up that 2-second gap they have on him?
I think Blake hasn't made up an inch of ground. He's actually lost 0.4 of a second the last few laps. These guys are maintaining that gap on second place, even though
They are not going to be able to maintain running side by side like this though for 20 laps.
they're
Finally
really
gets
not.
clear.
Yeah, looks like he's clear.
I think Pedro's happy with a little bit of a higher line right now. Doesn't want to be right on that bottom, but he'll slip in behind Danny here.
Yeah, Pedro he's not out of it. He can cool off that right rear again, I think. And now Danny's got to set the pace. Try to buckle in. Try to see if you can mount a charge. I don't think this is over. It's too hard to drive for, you know, to call this over by any means. But Danny's just, like we've seen, he's just been so solidly running that bottom lane and not stepping that car out one bit.
Long way to go here. It's even with, you know, 16, 17 laps to go. It's still super easy. I mean, if you mess up one corner and burn your right rear off on exit, I mean, you can throw it away that easy. Oh my goodness! Did you see Pedro out at 2 there?
Oh, we missed it.
Wow. 0.7 of a second back from Danny.
Yep.
Yeah, Pedro's right rear is definitely not getting cooler anytime soon.
No.
Blake Neer is now
He's
2.5
in trouble.
seconds back.
Yeah, as you can see, Danny's hardly in the frame right now in the blimp view.
Danny's just getting smaller and smaller in that windshield right now. Now nearly a second back.
Now Blake Neer is getting challenged.
Here we got Alec Martinez. Josh, you were talking about him earlier. Oop, as we've got those guys side by side.
He's up to 4th. He looks like he's the second fastest car in the top 5 right now, so.
Yep, Alec is starting to pick up the pace. Last time by 33.74 to Danny's 73. A little bit slower than Danny last time by, but
He's up to 3rd now.
yep, certainly gaining on Mojica. I think he can get Mojica. I don't believe he'll catch Danny unless Danny makes a mistake.
Nah,
Yeah,
he had
those guys are 3 wide down the front that last lap there. I can't believe they didn't wreck.
Yeah, Blake Neer just holding on.
Alec Martinez is currently in position to get the Hard Charger Award.
Oh, wow. 3 wide off of turn 2 back here.
Danny's now 2 seconds ahead.
And at the moment, Rabidou and Martinez are tied for the Hard Charger Award.
Oh, wow. So that would go to Martinez.
Rabidou's only 2/10 back from his next position that last lap.
Go back to Rabidou. Currently in P10. Trying to make progress. Oh. Sideways there for Logan.
Working on lap 50 right now, 11 laps to go.
Yeah, Blake Neer is just, he's struggling now. Really. Oh, wow.
Wow, Pedro. Oh, wow, sorry, I just had a lightning hit my house.
That was
That wasn't
very
good.
loud.
Josh, if you need to disconnect your computer, feel free.
I probably is not a bad idea. I will catch you all a little bit later.
All right,
Big
cool.
bye, Josh.
Wow. All right, Josh, our race control is gonna have to take some evasive action. That was really loud.
I thought like his room collapsed or something. That was so loud. Man, there's still 9 laps. 9 laps is still so long with these cars, especially at this stage with these tires. It feels like an eternity.
It really does. 10 laps here feels like 30. Yeah, it scared me too, Corey. I thought somebody was busting into his house.
I didn't know what was happening. It sounded like something fell.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh no.
See, Danny is just really smooth. You know, guys, you know, if somebody can't make the main event, I'd love to open it up to possibly, you know, somebody finishing second in these last chance races. I don't know, somebody who's put on a performance, you know, tried really hard, done a twin, done a last chance race, you know, somebody who's done both of those races. If somebody can't make the main event, you know, out of our 43, definitely looking at, you know, Pedro is a really suitable fill-in. Looking at, you know, we had Garrett Lowe just barely missed out, obviously. Well, certainly deserving of a spot in the field. Just man, if some of those guys would have showed up for this one, I feel like we might have had a closer battle for the race lead. But I mean, then again, Danny's just really very patient to the throttle, not rushing it. Probably not even wide open on the front stretch now.
No need to really run hard for him at this point. He's still pulling away.
Yeah, 3.4 seconds in front of Pedro. You know, I guess I was wrong. You know, I thought that they were running pretty evenly, but you know, it just goes to show how much just stepping out that rear end a little bit more, like we saw Pedro doing in the corners there, how much that can potentially slow you down over the long haul. We've got Alec Martinez looking to the outside of Pedro for P2. And you never know, Danny could have a connection problem here.
Yeah.
You always got to keep fighting. Pedro's trying to hang on. Oh, wow. Big slide.
My goodness. That right rear is going to be completely gone once this race is over. Looks like Rabidou is up 10 spots now, so Alec's going to need to pull off the pass here, which it looks like he's going to, and he's going to need Rabidou to lose a spot or two. He's going to want the Hard Charger award.
Yeah, Alec Martinez up to P2. Tyler Dubois. Oh, looks like... Oh. Very sideways into turn 1 there. What lap are we on?
We're
57.
on yes.
Gotcha. Ooh.
Coming down to the wire.
Presley
for
Sora.
P2 at least.
Yeah, Presley Sora very sideways off turn 2 there. Man, we have a heck of a battle for P2 normally in these races.
I just can't believe how... I mean, this just proves, you know, Ray Alfala's point last night about how fast you can be while still conserving your tires. Danny is gone, and he was hanging with Pedro that whole run until he passed him.
Yeah, he was. It's just incredible, and Pedro just really fighting that car back and forth now. Is there looking 3 wide back here, maybe? Well, think better of it. But right now, all Danny Hansen out in front of the field. Has to maneuver this lap car. Shouldn't be a problem. That is Victor Valley, who's had some damage. Very nice paint scheme, though, for Victor. And not giving up. Probably enjoying the experience of the setup of the car combination.
Yeah, soaking it in for another lap.
Yeah.
Definitely when you have races that don't go your way, it definitely feels a lot better finishing it, at least, than having to pull it into the garage.
Yeah. Danny Hansen, last lap through 3 and 4. Looks like he's going to advance his way to the hard-to-drive 300 as he drifts across the line. Probably holding it wide open there. Congratulations, Danny. And Tyler Dubois going to come home with P2. With Alec Martinez. Oh, looks like he's spinning out. What happened here? Oh, just got a little loose, tagged the wall, and around it goes. And Danny's just going to pull off. No celebration. Just disappears from the universe. All right, so.
Oh, wow, and a crazy stat here. Rabidou ended up gaining 9 spots. If Alec would have finished second there, he maybe would have tied him and got the Hard Charger award. but it looks like unofficially it's going to go to Nathan Rabideau.
No burnout photos for Danny, but you know what? He's probably saving that car for tomorrow. Making sure he doesn't have to go to a backup car. Doesn't want to screw up his burnout.
And hopefully we can get Danny in here. Looks like we have his car owner, Kevin King,
Hey.
over in Discord.
All right, we can pull him in.
Well, he is in the public voice, so I'll leave him there unless he joins the green room, and then I'll snag him in
Oh, okay.
just in case he might be having a conversation. Unless you want us to pull you in, Kevin, we'll get you in here.
Yeah, let's make sure these guys are ready.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, Kevin.
King.
Hey guys.
Well, with a turn of events, looks like you got a car in the show.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't make the race on last night, and we had run. Me, Adam, and Danny ran a mock run, and he was quite a bit faster than most of us. Not a lot, but like he had just better wear. And so when he said that I got to do a replacement driver, I was like, "Hey, Danny, how about you? You want to run?" He's like, "Sure." And then he did really well. Obviously, he you know, I didn't qualify very good, but he drove through the field the first time, and then got all the way to I think 5th in the twins, and then kind of drove the tires off, and he wasn't real happy. So then I told him, "Hey, I think you can do the LCQ tomorrow," and he's like, "I'm going to do it." So there you go. That's what he's capable of.
Yeah, and walked away with it. So, you know, we talked about it a little bit on the broadcast. Who's got anybody in mind to pilot that car? Is Danny going to stick around for the main show?
I haven't really talked about it to him yet, but I would assume if I give him the choice, because I don't think he has to work this weekend since there's no more NASCAR the rest of the year, I'm more than willing to obviously let him do his thing, because, you know, I think he probably at this point has more experience in what the thing's going to do over the long run. So I'm all for letting him do it. But if he doesn't want to do it, then I'll jump in and see what I can do. But yeah, keys are all his if he wants to. Okay,
well, not totally decided yet there, but you know, we'll grid you in the beta UI with, you know, with your starting position. Looks like it's gonna be 42nd, but you're gonna pass the guys going to the backup cars. So, you know, starting in mid 30s, pretty exciting spot to be starting a 300-mile race in. But you know, do you have any sponsors, anybody you want to give a shout out to? You're welcome to hang around here. We've got another race coming up.
Yeah. So I mean, for me personally, I mean, I don't really have any too hardcore sponsors, but I will say I want to give a shout out to Mitchell Hunt. He's, you know, we're doing the RTP thing next season, and we kind of shook it up a little bit over the off season, I guess you can say, and got some more people for that particular purpose. And you know, he finished second in his twin, and he was kind of bummed that he didn't win the race. But so we'll basically have 2 cars in there representing the team, I guess. Danny will be in my car, and Mitchell will be in his car. Hopefully I can get him a paint scheme or something at least by tomorrow. But yeah, you know, I tell everyone who watches these things how incredibly hard it is to put on these events. I think I put it on an event, you know, DMP days years and years and years ago, and it sucked the life out of me, and it wasn't even as complicated as something like this. And so, you know, anytime someone puts on a event like this, it's just like you have to support them, you have to watch, you have to just, you know, do what you can, and it's fun. I mean, I knew they were going to be hard to drive. I didn't know they were going to be that hard to drive. But beyond that, it's just, you know, watching all the guys who, you know, we maybe not have seen before come out of nowhere and do really well, and then, you know, the pros and the somewhat pros are coming in, and doing their thing. It's pretty cool, and obviously the broadcasting and all that fun stuff that we get to do nowadays it makes it so much more fun. So I enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, it's really great, and I just prefer this so much more to private leagues. I think that this brings everybody out together, and we've obviously not everybody's gonna make the main race, but everybody got to race, and I think that's really cool. That's cool. You got two cars in the field tomorrow. Mitchell's gonna be in one of them, and the 029. Yeah. I don't know. We might be able to get you in the 29. I don't know about the number taken there, but yeah, there's a lot to consider at these special events. I really didn't have much experience before now, but now I know that you get a lot of questions, a lot of people not reading the Google Doc, little simple questions here and there, but just helping people out to find the answers that they need goes a long way to getting people to show up. So I'm really happy that Danny said he wanted to run and could fill in, and obviously didn't get his own entry in, but we wanted to make this like unique and cool, so sub drivers were a way to make that unique and cool, and seeing him out there in your paint scheme was pretty neat.
Speaking of Danny, we got him in here now.
All right. Hey, Danny.
What's up?
Man, what a drive. That was pretty good, man.
Yeah, it was fun. Didn't really have the finish we wanted yesterday and needed a little redemption today.
Yeah, you obviously were fighting really hard for that transfer spot yesterday. I think you just got spun out in the 3, but redemption today. Did you think you were going to definitely get Pedro, or were you kind of worried?
I thought he was either going to be really quick or he was going too hard. So it turned out to be the going too hard part. So once we saw him kind of fall off, it was pretty easy from that point.
Yeah, I just saw Pedro stepping out that right rear a little bit. And you've been around a long time, been around the community for a really long while, and you finally got that pro license back. So congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks. Looking forward to spending some time running some races here during the off season for me for work. So it should be fun.
Yeah, and that's going to be starting up this coming Tuesday. So all the best with your efforts there. You guys are welcome to hang out, watch the next race. We've got, let's see, I'm going to try to see how many cars we have for the next one.
It looks like Danny, one of your biggest fans, Garrett Smithley, is in the chat. He was cheering you on that whole race.
Oh, cool. It's cool to hear.
Good old Smithley.
Awesome. All right, let's take a look here.
Tell you what, though, it's pretty cool seeing that Kevin King number 29 car back out there again.
Yeah, the throwback.
Did I hear correctly that LCQ winners get a VRS subscription?
That is correct. So congratulations to you and Anthony Burrows. I think I forgot to tell Anthony. So you guys will be getting a code for 1 year subscription to VRS. So we're gonna give one more of those out tonight. But yeah, that's a pretty cool little add-on, and something that a lot of the main event participants, they don't have a prize to their name, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like for people who already have a VRS subscription, is it like possible to trade those in for like coaching credits?
Oh,
I know they got some pretty good coaches on there like yourself, Brian.
Yeah, we could probably make that happen. I'd have to talk with Peter just to make sure, but we do have some good coaches, and if not, we can certainly extend your membership, or if you want to gift the membership to somebody else, we can definitely do that. But I'll check about the coaching.
All right, cool.
All right. And we also have a practice server up for everybody locked into the field. That's got 3 cars in it right now. It looks like Keegan Leahy's practicing, Andrew Petranek, and Cozy Jr. in there. And we've got 18 cars in this next one so far.
Oh boy.
Ooh, we've got some Good drivers in here. Eric J. Smith, Chris Hennion, Michael Guest, Garrison Hogan. This is...
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, looking...
It's going to be a barn burner.
This, I don't know if we'll see a 5-second lead in this one. Not taking anything away from Danny, but there's a few guys here that I think are pretty equally skilled. Honestly, I thought Pedro was gonna hang right by Danny. So let's see. Let's go ahead and spectate. Oh shoot, we didn't do race number 3. Why did I cross it out? Oh man, we probably lost some viewers just because they thought everything was done.
Hey, Brian, do you mind if I ask, when did you create this league?
Which one?
Like the one that we are doing for this event?
So this one was created probably 2 weeks ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I was just wondering, I got a notification on iRacing that I have a league invitation from December 6, 2012. I don't know what that means.
Oh.
I didn't even have an iRacing account in 2012, but I got a league invitation from them though.
Huh. Well,
I'm gonna have to investigate that. That's pretty funny. I think it's just some sort of glitch with the UI.
oh, Craig said he was disqualified. Let's... Alright, we'll pull up the live broadcast here. Got some paint schemes loading in. Really, some good drivers. Philip, is it Kraus?
Yes.
So Philip, see here in this white car, he just barely got bumped out in pole qualifying. So he'll be fast.
22nd, I believe.
Yeah. So he'll be good. Andy Hunter will be good. Oh man, a lot of good drivers.
Predicting the winner of this one's going to be a lot more difficult.
It really is, yeah. This is going to be hard. I think a couple people might have been sleeping on that second race. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Corey, was it you who predicted that there wouldn't be very many people in the second race?
Yeah, I was just thinking about how I would think about it. Like, that your immediate instinct is, all right, the first one, people are going to skip it to see how it goes. The third one, everybody's going to wait for the third one, so I don't want to do that. If I was a driver, I would have raced the second one because I felt like that would have been the lowest count and the least chance of wreck, stuff like that.
Yeah, and it looks like that was the case.
I know people have time constraints, and I'm sure a lot of people couldn't race anything but this one or the first one, so I would have definitely picked the second one, but if you're looking for excitement, this is the one you want to race.
Yeah. Yeah,
For sure.
certainly.
And Brian, if you look at Ace Thruitt's car, there's a special message on the back of it for you.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go. Look at that. Oh, I appreciate it, Ace. Oops. We took it out of view there. Very cool. I like it. It says, thank you, Brian Blackford, on the rear. I'll give you a closer look. That's very cool. Student driver. So Ace thinks that he, you know, needs a little extra room, possibly on track, but that's really neat. I like that. And overall, great scheme.
Yeah, it's a really good scheme overall.
Oh yeah, look at that. Very nice.
Really, really cool e-racer variant
Oh.
type scheme. Oh, qualifying time
Yep, qualifying time it is.
already.
Oops. Trying to show
I
you.
hate to put you guys on the spot, but who you got for this one?
Oh man.
I'm gonna go with Michael
Can I
Guest.
answer? I'm gonna answer after qualifying.
Hey, Garrett Smithley, thank you for the raid.
But I think you're probably right with the Michael guess.
Who you going with?
Yeah,
Oh.
you got Corey.
You know, I was teammates with this guy for a little over a year, so I'm gonna go with Eric J. Smith.
Oh, that's not a bad.
Not a bad pick.
Estimate.
We'll see. Let's see. We've got a few guys heading off pit road. Michael Guest.
Although I would not be surprised to be somebody else go out there and put a whooping on him. Garrison Hogan's good. Philip Kraus is good. About 4 or 5 people in this race who are consistently at the top of everything they race.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with. Timu.
Timu's been fast.
Yeah.
Michael Guest really looking solid on this Q lap. We'll have to remember to throw the comp caution for these guys. Or we couldn't. We could just let this thing go.
Oh
and
yeah.
do
Could.
I don't think these guys want to
No.
change up the rules this late in the going.
Got a couple drivers who are doing the exact same thing that Garrett Lowe did in his qualifying attempt, so I would not be surprised to see a low 30-second bracket in this one.
Yeah, Brian, you can handle the caution, or you can make me an admin. It's up to you.
I think I can do it if you remind me.
Okay, I'll just be there to remind you.
Alrighty. Evan Rice on track with that target machine. Philip Kraus, we'll see if he's able to duplicate what he did in pole qualifying. Put down a heater.
He's looking pretty good so far.
Tio enters 3 here. Yep. Right, exactly what you want to do there. Step it out just a tiny bit into 3. Correct the wheel. Losing maybe a little time there, but not much. Yep, 6:03. That'll put
Eric
him
Smith was
third.
on the edge in 1 and 2 right there, about as hard as you could drive it.
We got Eric Smith on track.
Misses turn 3 a little bit, but I think he can pull out a good lap here.
Oh,
he gave up. He's going to try for
He's
lap
gonna
2.
abort.
Wow. Garrison Hogan, about over a tenth quicker than second place right now.
Okay, Eric's. Yep, gonna reset. Let's go on board with Eric for this whole run.
Well, he's.
Yeah, gonna do a little bit of tire lockage. That's what Garrett Lowe did there. Just dragging those tires. Nothing we can do about it. A lot of these guys have kind of perfected the art with the Coca-Cola
Oh, yeah.
series.
Oh,
Looks like,
he's now out of his car.
yeah, looks like.
So maybe he's gonna give it another go again,
I don't know
possibly.
what's
Maybe
going on.
changing brake bias.
Garrison Hogan to the top of the board.
Yeah, he's over a tenth quicker than Timu.
Eric might not be running a lap. He needs to leave right now if he wants to finish a lap. I don't think
Yeah.
he's going to be able to make it.
Interesting.
That's your pole sitter right there for right now. Provisional pole sitter. Let's see, we got Cosman making a run here.
Yeah, he's just running more laps. This is
Oh.
this is his third lap.
Yes, third. Got Ace coming to the line. He's going pretty slow at the moment. I think maybe he's getting some restart practice in, possibly.
Good.
Hopefully it'll be Garrison Hogan for this race.
Yeah, good idea there though with Ace. And Chris Henyon doesn't put a lap down. I'm kind of surprised with that. But he does have 2 young ones in the household. There might have been something to attend to there. Hopefully Chris can join us for the race. All right, Garrison Hogan. A little bit of a surprise there, possibly. You know, you'd think with Guest and Kraus and who else had qualified well. A few guys just really laid down some great laps, and Garrison was able to improve over his obviously his pole qualifying time. My pick, Michael Guest, starting 4th.
This one's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what these drivers can do hot lap wise as well. You know, just these first 15 laps. And we'll, you know, have to monitor Eric's progress through the field, hopefully. Yeah, Eric's on the grid back here, and he's in this Pepsi machine.
Still surprised, only, what, 18 cars.
Yeah, I was expecting about 20 for each race, and that first one had more, like way more than 20. So I was thinking that we'd, you know, probably have around 20 to 25 per, and then, you know, everybody was in that first one, and then had it drop off for the second. Now we got a little bit larger field, or the same field for this one. Garrison Hogan and this Jimmy Johnson car. I'm gonna lead the way. Timu starting alongside Philip Kraus. Michael Guest on his outside there. Cosman. Andy Hunter. He was fast last night in the Twins. Eric Wineland. That is not Garrett Lowe. Do not adjust your set. And Ryan on the outside, Carwile. Michael Watkins, Tyler Sifford, Stanton, Rice, Gervon, Eric Smith, Emmanuel Lopez, Anthony, Chris Henyon, and Ace rounding out the field. We'll see what happens. Oh. Garrison takes off.
Look pretty clean throughout the field here on this restart, on this initial start. Oh, you got some batting. Eric Smith already going to the bottom. Yeah.
There's only 15 laps here. He's a pretty smart driver, so I'm sure he's going to get as much as he can.
Yeah, I think Eric, this 15 laps, this suits him pretty well. Hey, Pedro, I see your chat now. Thank you again for coming out. You definitely showed the speed to be in the show, and very well. Oh, as we got a car on the front straightaway grass, he's going to hold on to it. But yeah, I think, you know, you definitely showed the speed as we got a side-by-side battle for the lead. We hope to see you in the next one. Timu gonna lead the charge now. Yeah, you can tell these guys are just pushing pretty hard right now. They know they got that comp caution.
Well, look at Michael Guest on the outside, though. He's coming. He might be able to make this pass work. And it looks like he will.
Yeah. Michael Guest to the race lead. Love the clean racing, guys. Like, I couldn't be happier with how clean everything has been.
Yeah, I was thinking these LCQ races would be more crazy than the twins, but it doesn't seem to be that way.
Yeah, they'd probably be a little more crazy if we could fill out the field with 40 cars.
Yeah. Man, Eric Smith already up 7 spots.
Trying to take a look.
Looks like he's gonna go get more as well.
Yeah.
Never really thought about it. There could always be the possibility of somebody winning the race and also getting the Hard Charger award.
It's a good
He
point.
might be, if there's anybody to do it, he'd be the one.
Yeah, you walk away with a $110 value tonight. That's not a bad night. Side by side, ahead of him. Ryan Hunt has, I'm sorry, that's Andy Hunter. Got the Hunt mixed up, but he was working that outside last night, wasn't he, AJ?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He's been up there pretty much since the races started here, and
yeah, he's just making passes.
Timu's looking like he's starting to have a little bit of trouble there on the bottom.
Yeah, Timu probably, I think he knows how to save his tires, so we'll have to see how he fares a little bit later on.
Yeah, the second run's definitely gonna be a lot more. Oh man,
Napa car.
Napa car back there.
Yeah.
That is Jeffrey Stanton, I believe. Yes.
It's crazy how fast they're going in like the motion blur, and we were both able to pick out that Napa car. Almost.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're probably on the same camera too.
Yeah, the TV3 camera was like the camera shake. That's my favorite camera of all these. Is just off of turn 2, just seeing those cars fly by. Right on the edge of control. And the edge of room, as far as like washing out.
Oh man. Looks like Michael Guesta and Garrison Hogan, both the quickest cars on track that last lap.
Yeah.
Saw Eric Smith moving up a lot. He's starting to get his back door knocked on by Eric Weiland here. Ooh, they almost made contact going into 2 there.
I panicked for a second. I thought we missed the comp caution lap.
Oh, no,
Feels like
not
it's
yet.
been a while. Michael Guest kind of setting sail right now. But, man, this is just getting through this first stage is, you know, not even half the battle. It's
Yeah. About a quarter of the battle. So it looks like we got Josh back in the booth now.
Yeah, I'm just reporting from the infield care center. Everything's okay down here, and just letting everybody know we're all good. Just had to get a change of clothes after that one, but we're doing good over here. A couple more lightning strikes almost hit us, so got everything unplugged and we're hanging on.
all right. Well, we appreciate that, Josh, and you know, almost perfect timing for you to pop back in. We're on lap 13. We're gonna be doing your job here for one time. We'll do your job and bring out the caution flag, but you stay safe, man, and I'm glad you're okay.
Appreciate it. You can deduct it from my pay. Sorry, I'm making you guys do my job.
All right, there you go. Gonna Josh obviously volunteering his time for this event.
I'll catch you guys tomorrow if I'm not able to get on before the end of the broadcast tonight. So.
All right, sounds good, man. Thanks for stopping.
Sounds good, Josh.
Thank you.
Looks like we should be getting the competition caution any time now. Eric Wineland has gotten around Eric Smith. The most recent change. Also got a pass here. Andy Hunter was looking below Philip Kraus there before we got the caution. Pit stop time, Brian. I forget who it was. We saw somebody gain a lot of stops, or a lot of positions in the pit stops last race.
Chris Hinian being a jokester on voice chat. You love to see it.
We'd love to hear that, but don't have voice chat on. What's the word down there in the driver's chat?
Not much is being said. I think
Yeah,
these
it's
guys
been
are
pretty
all
quiet.
focused.
Looks like Ace through is going to be staying out here. He's probably going to elect to pit next time by, just to not get into any trouble on pit road.
Oh, somebody.
Kraus, as well as the 84, missed their boxes.
Yeah.
It's Cosman.
Philip won't lose too much time, but Cosman slipped through pretty bad.
Oh,
Michael Guest.
Yep.
Coming out first.
Yep, got him.
Oh, where is... Okay, everything looks normal. We're good. Michael Guest came in first. I'm not sure why I was so surprised by that.
Yeah, well, Garrison had that first box. I thought he might be able to do something, but not quite.
Eric Smith comes out 4th. He entered pit road 7th, so it's pretty good.
Oh,
for him.
wow.
Good pit stop.
Very impressive.
And where was Philip running? I feel like Philip
Yeah, Philip came in 3rd, and he's now
8th, I think.
You'll see how they come across the line here. Looks like Ace is staying out here. He might pit with 1 to go. We'll see. Or he might stay out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Oh, he is asking for an EOL now.
Okay.
So he is going to stay out, and maybe he's going to be the only one tonight to try to split this next run in half.
We're gonna give Ace the end the longest line penalty he requested. What a nice looking scheme that is. I have to imagine that one's also in the running for the diecast award as he takes out the blue cone. Maybe taking out a little frustration there, you know. Maybe just having a little fun.
So you might know more than I do. Will the 48 now have command on this restart?
So
Since the whole inside line moved up?
Oh yeah, so typically, oh gosh, I don't know.
I believe he will.
I believe the inside moves up and actually takes the lead.
Yeah, I was gonna tell everybody that Guest had control there, but I can't do that in time, so we'll just have to let this one go. Hate to see Michael Guest lose the lead for that, but I'm sure he'll have plenty of time to make a pass here.
Yeah, he looked very strong in that first run.
And he might just want to sit back and let Garrison set the pace here.
These are the three that I expected to be up front. Mayor first, second, and third.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did not take long for that to happen. Michael Guest is saving tires already.
Oh yeah.
Eric Smith. I don't know. I'm not sure how much aware he is of the tire saving variable. Have to see.
Yeah, he's going very quick right now.
Yeah, definitely. These two guys are definitely pushing it pretty hard right now as Michael Guest is, you know, kind of back here in fifth as he protects on Phillip there.
They're both about 2/10. They're both 2/10 quicker than everybody else that last lap.
You know, I'm okay with.
It's starting to stacked up back here.
Yeah, I'm okay with Guest right here. I don't want him to lose any more positions though right now.
Looks like Carlisle's going to look low here. He's going to take it.
Yeah, and this is.
Guest is being very conservative. I
don't
know.
Really is,
and beating and banging back here.
Still only 1.4 seconds off the lead, so you know, just got to be careful.
3 wide back here. Looks like they're gonna be okay.
Nope, we're on board Evan Rice there. Oh, sideways there for the 71, and this is exactly what Michael Guest doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to see these guys getting in front and then making mistakes. Yeah. And I'm sure Phillip and Timu have the same idea. All these guys realize the situation here, that Eric Smith and Garrison very well could come back to the entire field. And then you've got Eric Wineland, who appears to be saving his tires a little bit.
Yeah,
here.
if I'm Eric right now, I'm feeling pretty comfortable.
I am.
Because these guys are racing super hard around him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still got pretty good track position.
Yeah, and Eric was a little bit of a, I think he was a late entry for this event. Apologize if he wasn't, but Eric, you know, was just going to come out here, have some fun, and was able to sneak his way into the Twins last night with, you know, just a late dropout. So that was pretty cool. Nice to see Eric out here. Another Wood Brothers car. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting, guys. I don't know what to think now. You know, if Eric can do what, you know, Seth did yesterday, I feel like he's in a good spot, but I know that...
Oh, we got a car sideways, and he saved it. Oh my goodness, that's the 8 car.
Yeah,
the Manuel Lopez.
Jeffrey Stanton, I believe, back here. Oh. Maybe that was somebody else. That was Emmanuel.
Yeah, that was Emmanuel, yeah. Looks like Evan Rice and Tyler Sipper are the only cars side by. Oh, nope, they're side by side up there.
Ryan's taking a look. Carwile on Eric Wineland. Michael Guest is looking intently.
Yeah, if I'm Andy Hunter right here, I'm trying to hold these guys off while saving tires at the same. It's pretty much what I did yesterday as well. I let the Merchant and Mitchell Hunt kind of drive away. I wasn't worried about them. I was just trying to focus on staying in front of everyone behind me while saving tires. And I feel like if he can do that, he can run them down.
Yeah, he just.
Now I wonder if you're in his spot, do you try to protect the bottom so they can't get down there? Because I assume being on the bottom, you're gonna be able to save tires easier. And is that what your strategy would be in this situation, or would you just give them
protecting
the bottom?
as in the way I saved tires yesterday was run low on exit, run low on exit of 4, and run low on exit of 2. You want to keep your exit as straight as possible.
Contact.
Wow, that'd be out crap.
Contact with Michael Guest and the 71 of Ryan Carwile.
Michael Guest not happy with him on the radio after
Yeah,
that.
and can imagine why. That just came down into him. It's my pick, Ryan.
Yeah, if you run the low side off of 2 and 4, you can kind of keep those guys behind you, make them. If you make them go up top too early, that really kills the tires. Just like Eric Wineland just did. You know, making that move works, but you do that too many times, and your tires will pay the price.
Michael Guest taking a look.
Yeah, Michael Guest gonna start trying to move forward here now.
That's Andy Hunter on the outside of the 11. This is going to get close up front.
Yeah, they're starting to reel in the leaders again.
Give you a visualization of that real quick. Here's the leaders, the 2 leaders out there, and last time by, Michael Guest was about a 1/10 of a second faster than Eric Smith.
I wonder, Carwile has dropped all the way back to, he's getting passed for 11th now, it looks like.
Yeah, I think he might have just burned up his stuff.
Yeah.
And the people that I feel like were saving there appropriately got Timu and Tyler Sifford.
Yes.
Yeah, Tyler Sifford popping into the picture here, guys, doing pretty good. Nice showing, and these are his first laps in race condition. He wasn't in the twins last night, but Timu and Philip Kraus, I believe, are also going to be surging here. On board with Timu. But give a call to Tyler Sifford right there.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, we got side by side for the lead up here.
Oh yeah, Garrison Hogan on the inside.
I saw the 2 leaders were 2/10 slower than everybody the last lap, and then I looked up there and saw them side by side. Guest and Wineland are coming.
Yeah, they are.
They're going to be under a blanket once they get there.
I don't want to make too early of a prediction, but I believe the front 4 are going to be sliding here in about 15-20 laps. I don't see anyone really being too conservative. They're all pushing pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely looked like Guest was saving there early on, but it definitely is a good question of when do you start to try to speed up and catch guys. I wonder if he's going too early here, if they're going to get caught by somebody 15 laps from now.
Oh, Eric's having struggling on this front stretch, I think, a little bit more than he wants to. Not sure if he's wide open there, but Corey, I think he might have used up those tires a little bit more than he would have liked to. On board, Eric. Oh, Garrison's making a look high, and if he can get to that right rear quarter panel, and we know how strong that outside can be when... Oh, Garrison sends it in a little too high.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I think
oh, my goodness.
That's going to cost him a little bit of ground. And
Guest was about a 10th quicker, almost a 10th quicker than both of them that last lap.
Yeah, he's right there.
He's going to be even quicker this lap.
Guest is right there in the white car, 3rd place. I think this is his for the taking right now. But We know Eric Smith is not going to give it up. We know Garrison Hogan won't give it up. These two are going to fight for all they're worth. But we still got 24 laps to go. Oh, no!
Michael Guest in the wall!
Oh, man.
That is going to hurt him hard. He's going to... I mean, there's a lot of horsepower, so it's not over for him, but it just made it a lot more difficult.
And they're side by side for the lead ahead of him.
Just...
I'm going to go back and look and see.
Yeah, just came out from under him a little bit.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh, it's Garrison Hogan's in the wall now.
Oh, he's in the wall now.
Oh, man. Let's
Everything that just transpired is exactly what Eric J. Smith wanted to see.
Yeah. Oh, now Eric J. Smith's blinking a little bit.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Sorry, the cameraman's not doing a good job right now, but I was wild.
Gonna side by side here, Philip Kraus and Eric Weinland.
And you know, we talked about Philip. I think that he's in a good position here as well, with those two guys with damage out in front of him, and then Eric Smith, who a little bit documented that he might have gone a little too hard on his tires, sliding that right rear just a little bit. But don't count out Guest. I think even though that that did look like a solid hit, it's not like the current Class A car where damage will end your night basically.
Yeah, he was still quickest among the top 5 the past 2 laps. So
yeah, an 09 catching Eric's 20.
The question is how their pace is going to be 20 laps from now, or 10 to 15 laps from now versus some of these other guys.
Yeah.
Eric Smith and Michael Guest ran the Coke Series this year. Gonna be running Pro this winter. So we got 2 of the best up front right now.
Yep. Garrison Hogan always a front runner in NIS as well. Gosh, I'd love to see what Garrison would have been able to do there if he didn't tag the wall. Just probably, he really knew that if he got to the outside of Eric, he probably could have cleared him. And I wonder if Michael Guest is thinking that same thing.
Yeah, you got to know they're both kicking themselves for making that mistake. I believe what Eric's trying to do right here is just back up his corners and keep the gap about the same from him to Michael. And I bet as soon as Michael makes his move, Eric will put the throttle down again.
And Michael obviously had to use up a little bit of tire just to get here, so this could potentially even out just right as he gets here. Can't say for sure. We'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, also question if Michael Guest, he's a little sideways off before there. Once he does, or if he does get to the side of Eric Smith, of what kind of doors it's going to open for Hogan and Kraus to catch them. If they're side by side for too long, it's definitely going to pull those two guys in closer.
Oh, yep. Guest is a little sideways on entry, but really nailing that bottom line. Just not getting the drive off he needs to.
On exit. Yeah.
Ray Alfalo thinks Michael Guest, we should make the check out to him. We don't do that. We wait till the race is over, Ray. Ray, you're welcome to join us up here in the booth.
Ray actually delivers people's checks.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
literally.
We get a little bit of friendly banter in the chat, or not friendly. I can't tell. Gosh, all these guys so even right now. The top 4 under a blanket.
Yeah.
This is what we want to see, guys, right?
Yeah. I mean, Corey, you'd know probably better than anybody. I mean, if you're in this race right now, who would you want to be out of these top 4?
Eric Smith. My car
Eric
is
Smith.
clean, and I'm in the lead.
Yeah. And he looks like he's starting to pull away now. They're going to be battling for second here in a second.
Although Philip Kraus is running some of the best laps on the track right now. I mean, he did back his car off, and he's running some good laps, but getting around second and third is not going to be easy.
Yeah. Oh, Garrison Hogan making a move on Michael Guest here.
Michael Guest in trouble.
Yeah.
Michael Guest just came over the voice chat and said, "I've got too much right side damage."
Yeah, I think that he's right. The car just wasn't the same after that. You know, he got hit on the straightaway by that one car, which I don't think hurt him too badly. And then he obviously got in the wall in the backstretch, but he's going to give Philip the spot here. Yeah, he needs Philip to go up there and mix it up with Eric and hope that they come back to him. Eric Wineland loose off at 2.
Hogan's in the wall.
Oh.
Here comes Kraus.
Not over, folks. Kraus is coming.
Yeah, I don't think Garrison got too much damage there, but he lost a lot of time there. Let's see how much he loses. Yeah, lost about a 1/10 to Smith.
Man, crazy turn of events there for a few of those laps. If I'm Garrison Hogan, I think good opportune time to switch up my line, maybe run the outside a little bit. Got some fans for Phil in the chat. Welcome. Oh, he's gonna get a run. Big run off of 2. Oh, slides that right rear just a little bit. Oh, he didn't want to do that. But Hogan in the wall, hard. Yep, that'll clear Kraus for 2.
Most likely, probably gonna call it for him. Yeah. Looks like he may start battling Guests though here.
Gonna keep fighting.
Yeah, Phil Kraus is doing the right thing right here, running that second groove. I feel like that's what he has to do to start catching him.
Yep, he's got 10 laps to make something happen. He's got 8/10 to make up. He did slide that right rear trying to get around Garrison. I feel like he's fighting that car now. So Eric Smith is a little bit faster last time by, but not pulling away too much. This is not over.
So I got Andy Hunter passing Garrison Hogan here for P4. He's going to complete the pass.
Eric hit Smith in the wall in the 3 there a little bit. I don't know how that hurt him at all.
We'll see. Just see what his lap time is here. He ran at 33.66 last lap.
200s faster than Philip last time.
Yeah, he's still quicker. Wow.
He just grazed it, but
like we said earlier, it looks like at the moment, it looks like Andy Hunter's going to go past Michael Gester on the outside. Man, Andy Hunter is a rocket right now compared to these guys.
Yeah, he's working that outside, and you know, every time I look at this blue and white 11 car, it's on the outside.
Man, he was 2 car lengths back, and he cleared and put 3 car lengths on Guest in half a lap.
He's coming. He has a shot here at second. I don't know if he has enough time for the lead, but look at that car launch off the turns.
Yeah.
almost 0.2 of a second faster than Eric Smith last time by. The math doesn't quite work out, I don't believe, but who knows? Andy Hunter. Really showing people what he can do here. I love his line. It's working out.
Garrison Hogan gonna be falling back to looks like 6th now. Getting passed by Timo.
Andy Hunter again. About a 0.1 faster than Eric Smith. Working that outside.
He's gonna need to get by Philip really quickly here. It looks like he's going to. He's gonna clear him going into 3.
Yeah, needs to get back on track. Start running his line again. That line was working really good. I just don't know. Don't think he has enough time. Hey, Kevin's in the chat.
Gap is 1.38. He didn't even get a 10th on him that lap. Of course, he was passing the 91.
He needs about 2.5 tenths per lap to make it.
Yeah, Eric needs to start clipping that right rear for Andy to have a shot. Do you believe?
Got almost another 0.2 there.
Man, he is coming, guys. He's cut that lead down to under a second.
Oh man,
Both
he
of
already
them
has.
sideways down the backstretch. That's awesome.
He already has 2 laps, and we're not even at the end of this lap yet, or 0.2.
Can we make the race like 5 laps longer?
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna have enough time.
I think his car's given up. He's just
Well,
sideways.
yep. Well, still.
Oh, in the wall.
In
into
the wall! No!
Oh, hang on to it.
He tried, man. He tried. He was still about 0.2 faster than Eric.
Oh,
Eric's
man.
really struggling right now, guys. Oh. But that's
I mean, his
gonna-
lap times are backed off, but he's looking really, really smooth. Eric is.
Yeah, he's definitely looking smooth with those tires in the state they're in. But I think he's not saving at all. This is as fast as Eric can go.
Yeah. Oh, Andy's just almost spinning it down the backstretch now. He's really loose. It looks like Smith's gonna get it. He's gonna get the win and the hard charger here.
Wow. Yeah.
Down to 1 to go.
Good point. White flag in the air. Sponsored by VRS. Eric might have to think about this lap car in front of him, but smooth sailing otherwise. Man, Andy was coming though. Easily 0.2 lap faster. Just backstretch caught him by surprise. Eric Smith, checkered flag. Moving on to. Oh, man, why did I doubt him? Of course, moving on to the Hard to Drive 300. Hard to Drive 300 tomorrow, this Friday. Come back. We're going to have an amazing show for you. I think Eric Smith is pretty excited about this one. See if we can get him in the booth. But probably going to do a couple of quick burnouts quickly. Hey Isaac, yeah, Danny Hansen won the second race. Anthony Burrows won the first race. A lot of good drivers, just God didn't quite get in. Probably Garrett Lowe, the one of the fastest of them. Pedro Mojica. In this race, Michael Guest, just got a little damage as he was coming barreling down on the leader. You have to think what if you're Michael Guest. All right. Little smoke show for Eric.
So we got second place finisher Andy Hunter in Discord.
All right, let's
Pull him down in here.
yeah, let's go ahead and bring him in.
Andy,
Oh, hey guys.
that was a great run near the end there.
Oh man, that was awesome. I did not have an idea that I was gonna be that competitive in this race when I saw all the big names in this. Well, that was amazing.
Yeah, man, you did a great job. You, I love the line you were running there at the end. The lap before you hit the wall in the backstretch, you were 2/10 faster than Eric. I thought we might have a race on our hands. I was excited.
Yeah, I had a few distractions in the back end that kind of messed me up and put me in the wall there, but
Oh, okay.
hey, it's a good it was a good race anyways. I this is the most fun I think I've ever had in iRacing, to be honest.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. Love to see that, and we love to see new drivers come out of the kind of out of nowhere. I'm sorry, I haven't really heard your name too much before this, and you've really put yourself on the map here with that run.
Well, thank you, man. I was just saving tires. I saw the lead pack kind of take off way too early, and I thought to myself, no way they'll make it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You know, I felt like, you know, Michael Guest did a good job of saving, but you know, obviously he had his troubles, and then you know, Garrison Hogan had his troubles, but he took off a little bit faster too. And I was just, I don't know, I was kind of worried about Eric's pace. I felt like he definitely pushed pretty hard, and could have came back all the way to you if you could have gotten through traffic a little bit faster.
Yeah, I definitely think if I would have got to him, we would have had a heck of a race. He still, I think, had good enough tires where he could have held that bottom lane, and well, I was gonna send it around the outside if I would have got to him.
Yeah, that I've watched you quite a bit the last couple of days, and it seems like I always see your car on the outside.
Oh yeah, man, you gotta rip the lip.
We're really glad that you were able to do that and showcase your skills finding a different line up there, because obviously it wasn't nearly as high as what we used to do, but it's still really cool to see people venturing off the bottom.
For sure, man. Feels better than just about anything else. But hey, thank you guys once again for doing all this. You guys have been amazing. This whole thing's been a great time. One of the best times I've had in a while.
That's cool. Yeah, we really like to hear that. And you know, I wouldn't say you're quite out of this yet. I'm gonna throw you in the sub driver pool, and along with the other top finishers from tonight, we'll definitely keep you in up to date if any spots open up whatsoever. If somebody says they can't make it tomorrow, we are absolutely gonna be in contact. So don't want to get your hopes up, but hopefully you know, maybe something will pop up and you can sub driver. So would love to see you in the show.
Hey, man, that's awesome to hear. I'll definitely, if I get my chance, man, I'll try to prove myself.
All right, cool. Well, this is the first of many hard to drive 300s. I don't know how. I think that this one will be an annual event, and then we can do, you know, a different event, you know, at another point in the year. But I think this is a really good point, you know, in this, you know, where people are different, you know, done with the real world racing. They're done with the Coca-Cola series. They haven't started the Pro Series, and it's a good time of year to do this type of event. So we'll be putting on more, and I'm glad you've enjoyed it so much.
Thank you, man. I'll definitely see you guys around. Thanks.
All right, man. That's Andy Hunter, guys. I'm blown away. Like, you know, who would have thought Andy Hunter would drive around the drivers that he did to, you know, challenge Coca-Cola Series driver, a winner in the Coca-Cola Series, Eric J. Smith, last year at Auto Club. What a race! That was really cool, AJ.
Yeah, that was a pretty awesome race. Every single race had, something interesting and cool about them, and something unique that you can take away from each race.
Yeah, Danny Hansen put a waxing on everybody in the second one. Pedro hung in there for a long time, but then Danny stretched it out. And then the first race, we thought Anthony Burrows, pushed pretty hard, but he kind of reminded me a lot of Seth the Merchant in the twin races, where he was able to just maintain that gap for a long time, and gave up a little bit, but definitely not enough to get passed up by Garrett Lowe. Yeah, same shirt as yesterday. It's not nearly as nice as it was as yesterday, but different tie. This is actually Dali Museum, Salvador Dali, I believe. He famous artist, got it from the museum down in Florida. But yeah.
Well, Brian, as you show off your ties, we got Eric Smith in here.
All right, Eric Smith, got a copy.
Hey, I got you now.
Man, I was so worried that you went a little hard there, and you're able to hold on.
Yeah, I was able to somehow hold those guys off. I didn't have too much practice. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to run last night. I didn't have very many laps under my belt, but so I knew the disadvantage was going to be kind of getting to the lead, because I figured these guys without pressure that I'd be racing with would be pretty good, pretty fast, especially like Garrison and Guest and a lot of guys that are kind of showed up at the end. I knew they'd be quick. I didn't want to let them get out there without any pressure. So my strategy was to get through the field as fast as I could. I burnt the tires off it pretty fast, but once we had that competition yellow, I came in, got tires, and wanted to take the lead as soon as I could without pushing it as hard as I did the last run. Got the lead, held the pressure, made Garrison work to try and get around me, and he kind of made a mistake or two, and that opened up the door for Guest, and then he made a mistake or two, and that kind of was the strategy the whole time there, and it ended up working out. Saved tire the whole rest of the run, and I was able to pull away everybody I was able to pull everybody except for Andy there at the end, but it was too late for him to catch me. So
yeah, that's man, Andy was coming. And were you aware of what line he was running? Did you have a spotter or anything?
no, I didn't have a spot or anything. I kind of just I knew that the middle was going to be pretty fast at some point, and I knew what other guys could be doing, but I didn't have the confidence to kind of move around and check lap time. I was really just focused on holding the bottom and making sure I knew that line up and down so that I could, really use it to my advantage should somebody try and come up and pass me. So
yeah. Well, you're in the big show tomorrow. Are you going to be able to make it?
yeah, yep, gonna be there. It's gonna be exciting. I'm really looking forward to racing against a lot of these other fast guys in that race, and seeing what I can do against a pretty stout field. So thanks again for the event. Putting this Hard to Drive race on, it's a blast. I want to say thanks to Team Slip Angle as always for the encouragement and all that stuff, and I want to say thanks to Jim Beaver Esports going into the pro season this fall for sticking with me, coming back on the car, and trying to go out and win a Pro Series championship, as well as maybe get this exhibition win in the race tomorrow. So
well, great job, Ann, once again. And you beat some of the best drivers on the service to earn your way in, and everybody's earned their spot, so congratulations, Eric Smith, everybody. Eric, I think we're about ready to wrap up the broadcast.
yeah, that sounds good.
I don't know, anybody have any final thoughts before we sign off? We got a long day tomorrow, long race.
Tomorrow's gonna be crazy, and Ray Alfala is AJ's lock of the week for the win.
There you go. Well, I'm going to go with somebody a little different. I'm going to go with Seth the Merchant. He's going to be starting
That's a good one.
at the very tail end of the field with a backup car, but I think he can storm his way to the lead and hold it. We'll see, though.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna go a little bit a different end of the spectrum there. I'm gonna go with Eric J. Smith. I think he's gonna be like Seth. He's starting near the tail, but he's gonna work his way through the field and keep the car clean for the end. So,
Eric, since you're not in a backup car, you're actually, you were scheduled to roll off 43rd, but there's 7 backup cars, so you'll be starting in the 30s. So you got.
Oh, there you go.
There you
all
go.
right, that's just like Coke. I'll take it.
Yep.
No, just kidding. No, that sounds good. That's a little closer to all the craziness, but I think
Yeah.
we've got such a good field of drivers. I think everyone's going to be kind of cautious, and that might actually play into my hands. I might be able to pick a few off pretty easily to start. So.
Okay, AJ, I want to do a poll real quick. If anybody has a preference whether we do admin thrown yellows or in-sim yellows, now is your time to vote. So AJ's going to set up that poll.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know how.
Yeah. I'll set it up and then I can teach you sometime. Bam. We'll do 2 minutes.
Okay.
Basically, it's just /poll, and then you just press enter, and then it'll bring up a prompt.
Oh, okay. Well, for next time. So all you diehards that are still tuned in, you get.
Oh wow, admin is running away with it.
Really? Okay, that's not what I was thinking would run away with it. Thought it'd be about even.
iRacing's starting to come back though.
Oh, it is. All right, tell your friends. Tell them to sign in right now. Tell them to come vote. They've got a minute left?
Yeah, it might be worth making one on Twitter as well.
Yeah, we'll do one on Twitter too. Very interesting results so far. Oh wow, iRacing's really it's getting this little side draft.
What kind of yellows for tomorrow, Isaac, is what the vote is for. If you want it to be admin yellows or iRacing.
Three Wyatt, thank you for the bits. I know you've been donating bits from time to time. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the shout out on the TV panel. We saw a close up of that one too. Easily.
Oh man, we're almost tied.
Jeez.
Oh, admin's starting to pull away again.
Yeah.
Got about maybe 10 seconds left on it.
Oh gosh, just a little closer.
Admin's gonna take the W.
Okay.
Now we'll see maybe what the Twitter poll ends up being. And
honestly, I hope we don't have to even worry about it. I hope we go green the whole way.
That would be pretty awesome.
Regardless, nobody wrecks. See who can pull it off. 300 miles straight through.
Yeah, see what kind of see how many cars are on the lead lap and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Isaac. I was thinking in-game was an option because you guys have shown how clean the racing will be. And to take it out of our hands is a benefit for us. Nobody's going to be yelling at us. Zero chance of going caution-free. Probably, yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate all the feedback, guys. We're gonna raid somebody. Anybody got any suggestions or?
Oh man, you got all sorts of people streaming iRacing tonight.
Didn't really do.
Got Clawbirds. You rated him the other night, right?
Yeah, he's been rated too recently.
Got Chandler. He's streaming. Malik Ray's streaming. Steel Horse Live. Puck Vanek. Shield House.
I kind of want to support somebody who supported the event, but I don't.
Yeah, let's see if we can find any. Moonhead streaming. He's been in chat sometime.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and rate him. And is it just Moonhead?
Yeah. Let's just see if there's anybody else here.
Yeah, we'll pay back what, you know. I know you guys want Malik and Shield House and everything. I hear you guys, but they didn't sign up. So, you know, if they would have signed up, I totally would have done Moonhead or Malik or them. But Moonhead has done a tremendous amount of work paint scheme wise, and I think he really deserves this one. So thank you to him, and we'll go ahead and talk to him. Thank you guys so much, and once again, for the last time, see you guys later, and we'll play this fancy, hard to drive 300 animation. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Be here, or Landon's channel will probably be on Landon's channel too. So let's go say hi to Moonhead. 10 viewers, 15, 20. Good night, Kimmy. Thank you so much for coming out. Gary the Snail, Isaac, thank you, Briar, everybody. Okay, 36 viewers ready. Send you guys over there now.